the crystal, celebrate for the month, celebrate for the month. Why not? All right. Shout out to Papa Died in the building, talking trash as always. Go Gamecocks. Shout out to Cindy K. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. And congratulations. You made it through the week. Yes. I'm telling you, man, these weeks fly by. What's up, Corey Brown? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you. What up, Marla? How you doing this morning, sister? I love the hoodie. Thank you so much. We got Mark Galvin in the building. Cashville is in the house this morning. Shout out to you. What's up, J-Rap? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. We got Vicky in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's going on, Geo? So fat. Okay. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to, I'm not even sure what that is, but we'll appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. What's up, Tiffany? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. We got Janice in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Leslie, for pulling up this morning as well. What's up, Nanny? How you doing this morning, sister? It's good to see you in the chat. What up, Ryan? What's going on, Cuzzo? How you doing, man? It's good to see you in the chat this morning. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Lewis? How you doing this morning, bro? It's good to see you in the chat this morning. We got my sister Angela Montgomery in the building this morning. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Got Dylan McClung in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Hope all is well with you, brother. We got Kimberly Gray in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. We got Karen Grego in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Krista Knight is in the building. Appreciate you. What's up, Miss Joyce? How you doing this morning, sisters? Good to see you in the chat this morning. Appreciate you pulling up. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Like I said, super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. We definitely appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing over here. Hey, Latrice, how you doing this morning, sisters? Good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you very much. Let's see who else we got up in here. All right. We're getting close. We're getting close. What up, Eric? How's it going, man? It's good to see you. Nice t-shirt. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Eric always representing. I got to get it to him. Eric always representing. Appreciate it. What's up, Nene? How you doing this morning, sister? It's good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you pulling up. We got Ginger and Juice in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Southern Charm? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We got Amanda in the building. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. I could have sworn I seen somebody earlier. There's a birthday today, and I want to find it before we start pulling folks up. What's up, Suzette? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. We got Mark Block in the building. Shout out to you. We got Brandy Henderson in the building this morning. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Glenn is in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. We got the sister Francesca in the building. Thank you so much for pulling up. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What's up, Amy? How you doing this morning, sister? It's good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Let's see who else we got in here. Oh, Brenda. What's going on, Brenda Perry? Said the song got me shouting this morning. I hear that. It's hard to listen to that and not start bouncing. It's hard. You got to put your hands up when you hear that. What's up, AK Bauer? How you doing this morning? Northeast PA is in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What up, Cool Ramon? Appreciate you pulling up. What's going on? We got the Mad Researcher in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. I know it was somebody's birthday, but I can't find it. All right. In the chat, if it is your birthday today, please let us know so we can properly, show you some love. I'm working on a new birthday song. So once I get that situated, I'll have the new birthday song. So we'll get that situated, hopefully in the very, very near future. But we do appreciate your support. We appreciate you guys support what we're doing over here as well. Shout out to P5 Man Podcast in the building with the $2 super chat. Says, morning, ARP fam. This is the day the Lord has made. Yes, Lord. Shout out to Brenda Perry with the 550 joules. And shout out to Eric Remind with the $2 super chat. Says, wise, watch TGP replay. We watch Navy PT. Oh, Lord. There goes Eric being messy. There goes Eric being messy. Okay. Okay. Papa died. You said those fighting words, really? Gamecocks? Go Gamecocks? Really? I mean, come on, man. Y'all ain't gonna win nothing this year. I don't even know why you're gonna watch. I have no idea why you're gonna watch those dudes this year. I have no idea. Dealing with the $2 super chat says Eric ain't lying. Okay, now I'm curious. I'm gonna have to go and check it out. You're gonna try to upset me today, but I ain't gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you. Hey, just so you know, our mission is different from you all. So yeah, our PT might be a little different, but our mission's different. You know what I'm saying? A whole heck of a lot different. Just saying. Just saying. Let me pull up my sister, and we're gonna get things kicked off. What's up, Crystal? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. The week is over. I am exhausted. That 5-hour show yesterday was everything. And then afterwards, you know what I did. And my body's actually feeling it. I didn't know that you would feel it after. Like, I didn't even know that you would feel that running through your body. Like, well, why you ain't warn me?
I ain't gonna talk about you. I'm not gonna talk about you. I'm not gonna talk about you.
Aren't you proud of me?
Hey, I'm glad that you were able to do that and not hurt yourself and not hurt anybody else. We didn't see Crystal, on the 7 o'clock news last night. So that's a blessing. So
everybody in God's verdict got to see the video. Those that are in my Discord got to see the video of me doing it. And listen, Hunter said, I'm ready to go deer hunting. That's what he said. He said, I'm ready to get some venison. I'm telling you.
Okay. I need to see the video. What's up, AT? How you doing this morning, buddy?
Blessed and highly favored, sir. How about yourself?
The same. Ridiculously blessed.
Amen.
Ridiculously blessed.
Brother Wise, I love you entirely too much to not give you a heads up. If you decide to go back and watch that video, you will not get 3 seconds into that video before you stop it. I guarantee it.
I don't get offended like that. That don't bother me.
3 seconds. I'm saying it right now.
I've been out the military. I'm thankful, and I appreciative of those that serve, and I am definitely proud of my service, but I don't get offended by that stuff.
Wise, look at your chat right now. I can't see your chat. I have no idea what they're saying. Chat, 3 seconds for those of you who were there this morning. You will not get 3 seconds into it. I'm telling you why. I'll send it to you right now if you want me to.
All right. I'm going to check it out.
Otherwise, my sister just said, she was like, please tell everybody about Crystal and them sandals. See,
I wasn't going to try to talk. I wasn't going to talk about you. I wasn't going to talk bad about you.
Apparently she gave you permission.
AT, when you're in the Army and you guys would go to the range, y'all range is a little different than our range on the ship because at least y'all have some barriers. On the ship, there's no barriers. So there were certain people, like when I would go to the range for gun qual, I want to be on one end or the other. I don't like to be in the middle. That's just me, because you get people like Crystal who don't really understand, and they'll do something crazy like turn around and point the weapon. Instead of keeping it down range, they'll turn around and point while they're asking a question to the instructor. Like, no. So I always like to be at one of the ends. So if I need to run, I can run. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know what fancy Army bases you've been to. I have had some duty stations that did have barriers, but not all of them do. Most of the ones I went to didn't. Crystal, I have to ask this question. Please tell me you did not wear flip-flops when you went to the range yesterday.
She tried to go with sandals on.
Crystal.
Listen, I did everything else right. You heard our instructor.
I almost wish you would have done it.
But she started off wrong.
I almost wish you'd have done it.
Well, I just was like, you know what? I'm supposed to be comfortable, so let me put on some sandals, be cute and go get this done. I didn't know I was supposed to be wearing like sneakers and closed toe. Like, I was like, why? I just want to be comfortable. Am I wrong? For one to be comfortable?
Yes.
Why don't be acting like I know these things? Listen.
That's why you call somebody before you go.
Well,
I'm not going to win this one.
I'm not
going to win this one. I'm not going to win this one. I got to give up. I acquiesce right now.
I did speak to Brother Wise because we were going over the gutter bunny thing, and I was saying we were going over the list, and I said, I'm here at the range. I said, I have my sandals. Your sandals.
So he got you right. Okay, good.
You don't understand. Like those shells, when they come out, them things are hot, man. Yeah. They will burn you.
Okay.
Why did you ever have one pop out and go underneath your sleeve of your uniform and it's just stuck there for a little bit?
No, I never had that happen to me, but I have seen it happen, and I've seen it where it pop and hit the back, like come down. I've seen that too. Yeah, I've never had it personally happen to me, but I have seen it on the range. I'm always just scared with because people are
You get all types in the United States military.
Absolutely. Yep. And I've seen some crazy things on the range. People turn around. You're supposed to be pointing down range, and they'll turn around and ask a question,
Sergeant,
and then turn their weapon.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, heck no. So I start knowing, like, okay, when it's gun call, who I'm going out there with.
That's right.
You get to a point where you can kind of pick and choose, and I'm like, who's on the list? Because I need to know, because some of these folks ain't safe.
I was very good because listen, this is my first time handling that stuff. So I wasn't gonna go in there acting like I know everything. So I was they made sure to say pointed downrange. I said, what in the world is downrange? And they were like, make sure it's facing this way. Don't come back, don't turn it back that way. I said, okay. And then they told me, make sure to keep your hand off the trigger. And I did. I made sure to just keep my hand where he said to the whole entire time. I was very obedient because I was like, I told y'all we were in there and other people had just walked in there to shoot, and when it popped off, I jumped, my spirit jumped. I said, "What in the world was that? Why is that so loud?" Like it scared.
First time, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, that was my first time. But my daddy's proud of his girls. He was like, "I'm so proud of y'all." We sent the video. He was like, "I'm so proud of y'all." I was like, "Thank you."
Well, that's why I took my kids early, and to just so they understand, like, hey, we have these things at the house and they are not toys. So when you get a chance to go, and even with the with your ear protection on, it's still loud.
Yes, it is.
So you need to know that this is not a toy. This isn't a toy.
Yeah, I learned that. I learned that real well. There was a girl in there though. She had on like slippers, so I didn't feel that bad. She came in with her boyfriend, and she had on like slippers or whatever. But chat, I hit the target. I kept going for the headshot, and I hit the target. I just want y'all to know, because if I'm going to use it, listen, I'm not about to try and injure. Listen, if you coming at me the wrong way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I ain't the one.
I'm not mad at you at that one though.
Not at all.
What's up, Minister Denzel? How you doing this morning, brother?
Sir.
Got him.
You got me. I was so funny. You had me laughing so much I forgot to unmute. Listen, Crystal, we do not want your theme song to be "I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy."
Oh my goodness! I got you.
Gun safety is important. It's very safe. It's important. It's extremely important.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, Elder Travis? How you doing this morning, brother?
Hey, blessings to you all. It is a good Friday. You were searching through them. Today is my birthday, actually, so it's a blessed Friday.
Happy birthday!
All right, now. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday.
All right, now.
Yes, sir.
That's all right. What are you, 60?
Don't do me. Don't do me. Look, God is redeeming the time on this age. God is redeeming the time on my age. Look, I'm an antique.
Hey, Minister Denzel told me he was training you for the ABA back in the day.
Hey, look, I done told you. He's redeeming that time. Look, he's redeeming the time.
That's exactly right. So don't do me. I like that. Crystal, the same thing happened to me the first time I did it. And I almost cried because not even from the sound, like I knew it was loud because there were other people who went before me, but actually you can feel it all through your body.
Oh yeah.
And it is, I was like, oh, this is terrible. Because my instructor, she looked at me and she said, how do you feel? And I said, that is awful. It's absolutely awful. And she was like, well, you've got to get to the point where you can do it 10 times in a row without stopping. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So that never happened. I'm in remedial school over there.
Lord.
I had to stop. I got to where I could do it 2 consecutive times. And then I'd have to stop and breathe and pull myself together and do it 2 more. But I've been going back. I'm going back because I want like you said, you have to be proficient. You can't be. So I'm continuing with instruction because that's, I guess, the only way to get better. But that first pull,
it's serious. It is.
I felt the whole thing through my body, and I was like, "Oh, this is awful."
Celeste, we had a guy who's like an ex-APD officer, and so he was showing us my sister's friend, and so he pulls out the smaller one, the 9mm. He pulls that out. And I'm like, okay. And then I see him pull out this big old thing. I said, what we about to do with that? Like, what's going on? And he was like, y'all gonna try both. And I'm like, what? And so we did the 9 and it was comfortable. When he finally, because we did dry first and then he loaded it and he was like, okay, go ahead. I said, you want me to hit that? How you want me to hit that? Like, I was like, you want me? And then when afterwards he said, okay, now come on over to the other side. And I was like, I can't even hold that up. Like, he put it in my hand. I was like, that thing is heavy. What
Yeah. Everything I have is lightweight, small, cute.
Oh,
yeah. Let me tell you, the craziest thing.
Did you say cute?
She did.
right.
She
you
did.
That's what I
She
said.
did. She said lightweight, small, and cute.
The one that
Is it deadly, Celeste?
Right.
yeah,
Cute, don't kill.
they assured me that it is, and when I pulled, I realized I was like, "Oh God!"
All right, I got to put you on the
hurt.
spot here, Celeste. Crystal failed this one yesterday, so you know it's cute. That's adorable, by the way. What caliber is it?
Oh, I can tell you. I know
can.
exactly what I got.
Okay, good. You don't have to tell me.
I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. I just want to make sure you know.
Oh, I know exactly what I have. And what's crazy about it was because I had to take the class before we went to the range.
Yeah.
So we're in class from like 9 to 1, and then after at the range. The hardest thing for me to do is pull the little thing back. I don't. Oh my God! I was like, what is wrong with this? That is so. I was like, first of all, they don't build this stuff for women's hands.
No, they don't.
Absolutely do not.
They don't.
They're never going to
on
either.
TV going like this. Oh, absolutely not. I'm struggling.
Well, that's why I don't suggest. That's why I don't suggest to women for semi-autos. I don't suggest that to women.
I agree.
I suggest revolvers. Easy. They don't jam. They typically don't break, and it's just point and pull. That's it. So I don't normally suggest something with a hammer. For that reason, most women struggle with the grip strength to be able to slide back.
The first time, I had like when he gave it, he was like, okay, just pull it back, and I was like, okay. I was like, I can't move this, and he was like, you got to pull it with some strength. But then at the same time, I had to be conscious because I would put my hands to put it like how he says to hold it. And he was like, I was like, these nails, sir, these nails.
No, you're right. All of it. It's like this whole little like grip class and
get a shotgun.
Problem solved. That's what you're exactly right.
No. Please. If she was struggling with a little 380 or something.
I'm talking about just load it, point and click, right? Get yourself a semi-auto shotgun, not one that you have to actually cock. Just put it in there, point, watch your problems disappear.
And I saw one at the store that's
Dylan is right. That is my suggestion, Dylan. That's my suggestion for the ladies. It's small enough you could throw in your purse.
Yeah.
That's my suggestion for all of the ladies right there.
I can see right now that that's going to be relying on Crystal to do her shooting for her.
Crystal, you up front. We out about you. You push Crystal in the front.
I would say just because I discussed all my failures. Now I did my target, my aim was on it.
Wow,
I was very good with that. What I just had.
You saying you accurate is what you're saying.
No, wow. I hit in the circle and mostly on the dot.
Okay.
Wow.
And
I wasn't going for the circle. I was going for the head. I wanted the head. Like
Crystal, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that when I come down there. We're gonna fix all
why? I thought we want to. Massive.
Look at me. Right here. Center mass. Every time, right? Every time. Because the head, right? You can hit a target when it's a paper target, when you have no adrenaline running, when it's just standing there. But that head's going to be moving back and forth. You're going to be concerned if you're aiming for the largest target that you have.
Part of the body.
Yeah.
Just make sure you put multiple here, right? We don't want to just hug them one time, hug them multiple times, right?
That's why you have to do it in
everybody in the chat is telling you center mass.
Are they?
Listen to the chat. They know. Listen to the chat. Yeah. Shout out to Sandra PR coming through with the 500 joules. Thank you to LJ coming through with 550 joules. Appreciate you, LJ.
Thank you, LJ.
Shout out to Corey Brown coming through, $5 super chat. Says, come on, Wise, even the Air Force cracks up at the Navy PT.
Do you even know what PT stands for?
Seriously, they ride bikes. You know what I'm saying, for their PFT test. You know what I'm saying? they jump on bikes, stationary bicycles. Come on now. Shout out to Eric Remind with the $2 super chat. Says range days and club days are two different things.
I know, Eric. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be comfortable.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry.
Cold Steel Rails with the $20 super chat. Thank you.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Thank goodness it's Friday.
Amen.
Thank you to Primo XL. I always do Primo Double XL. I always say Primoxy. Shout out to you, $5 super chat.
Bro Wise, is it possible for the usual panel to explain how they all met you and their background? Army is better than Navy.
If they want to, I think everybody has somewhat. Well, no, I guess everybody's story is fairly unique. But if they want,
I don't want to uncover all my shame. But
understood.
I met him in a class. That's where I met Wise. I met him in a class.
I met Wise. I always tell those who were at Bible study, they know what I said. I said Wise was a godsend. I dragged my brother AT with me off of TikTok, and my mom and dad apparently were watching Brother Wise before he was wearing the hat and before the beard got that long. I guess it hit my algorithm too. And so I started watching him. And then one day he had a panel with Jay Witt. I know it was Minister Denzel and some others. And Dave was there, and I went up to have a conversation. And then he asked me a couple of questions. And then he was like, reach out to me. We'd love to have you in the panel. And I was like, God, you just gonna sit? Amen. Amen. All right, Lord. So that's how I met Brother Wise. And then I dragged AT with me.
So you're responsible for AT.
Yeah.
That's correct.
All right. Yeah. Listen,
I am.
We all have,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We all have what? Finish the sentence. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, y'all. AT and I were struggling on them TikTok streets, and then I was like, I had to bring him to freedom, because over there was pure old plantation days. So
I was not struggling. You were getting banned for absolutely everything. I didn't get banned like you did.
I mean, I was.
Papa died crazy.
Minister
Minister Danzel and Celeste, they were I think Celeste might have been the first person that I had as a guest on the channel, but Minister Danzel and Celeste, we did a panel show around Vince Everett Ellison's documentary that came out at this point now about 2 years ago, called "Will You Go to Hell for Me?" And we all watched it, and then we did a discussion around it, about 2 years ago, and that was phenomenal. And that was actually at this point, man, almost 3 years ago. At this point, time
That's
flies.
when I met Minister Denzel. It was that night.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Yeah,
I talked about how classic these sisters were.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, it was. I still have that in my library. I put that on my page. So I wanted people to see that again.
Yeah, that was good. The documentary is good. If you have not watched that documentary, it's Vince Everett Ellison. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Vince Everett Ellison's first documentary.
It was,
that he did.
Will you go to hell?
He's written a few books, but this was kind of his first kind of foray off into the documentary space.
Yeah,
it's a phenomenal watch. Oh my goodness, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
It absolutely was.
It was really, really good. Very powerful. And so we ended up doing a show around that, and then I ended up breaking it up into, because it was so long, it had to go into like 3 different videos or something along those lines. So, but it was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good. And I think LJ sent me Elder Travis. So you gotta talk to him. So
truth. She said, they speak that truth. You gonna like this.
Oh, I remember that. She was in the chat.
Like you. They talk like you. I was like, look, I was like, you know how we are. Yeah, let me see. Oh, they do talk like me.
Shout out to Corey Brown with the $2 super chat.
We had another E8 get sent home for flagging. Shake my head.
Really?
See, that's why you cannot talk smack from the Air Force. You had an E8 who still doesn't understand the concept of keep your firearm down range. That's insane to me.
That's E8. That means that he at minimum has been in 10 years. At minimum.
Minimum. Yeah.
Wow.
At minimum has been in the military 10 years. Well, the Air Force moves up slower than us.
do.
For the Navy, that would probably be 10 years. Air Force, that's probably
it's about
15 plus
yeah.
years. That's sad. That's sad.
That's really sad.
That actually says a whole lot about the Air Force. You know, y'all can't talk any more trash. No.
Your firearm is your computer. Keep it there.
Seriously. Shout out to LJ with the $2 super chat. Says, happy birthday, TT. All right now. Justin Bundy with the 10 jewels. We appreciate your support. Thank you to Stephanie Black Music coming through, $5 super chat.
Air Force ain't doing this disrespect today now.
Why? That gentleman's name is Steven, not Stephanie.
Oh, my bad. You know, I can't read. I'm struggling. Shout out to Corey Brown, $2 super chat. I know he got like Stephanie. My bad, bro.
He wasn't in the Air Force.
Oh, we're taught to win hearts and minds at the range. Really?
P5 Man Podcast with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you.
Crystal B thinks she's John Wick. Go Air Force. What's that?
We got a lot of Air Force folks in here today. Okay.
Really
Let me
do.
tell you, P5.
Where my sailors at?
My sister
We're
wants
soldiers.
She wants to be John Wick. I'm looking at some of these other people that I have in mind.
How about you just not hurt yourself? How about that? You know what I'm saying?
Amen. That's what I said. Somebody's gonna get hurt out here. Like,
shout out to Eric Remind coming through with the $2 super chat.
Didn't Minister D teach George Washington tactics?
Don't come for him. They're coming for you today. Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Shout out to RS Soar coming through with the $2 super chat.
Love you guys and happy birthday, TT.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Minister Danzel was standing next to Crispus Attucks, you know what I'm saying, right before the Revolutionary War happened.
Minister Danzel didn't fall.
Who do you think told the story of the shot heard around the world?
That's why we don't know about him.
That's right. He came back and he said, I know the first to fall. He told me.
Yeah, he's the one that reported it. You know, he's like, hey, y'all ain't gonna forget my brother Crispus now. Y'all ain't gonna forget my brother Crispus now.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to start dropping some receipts on y'all.
More receipts, Minister, because
I'm putting cases on all you.
You know, hey, y'all know MJ is cousin now. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He's the one that showed him how to fly through the air with that tongue hanging out. Come on now.
Right.
And he said MJ meaning Michael Jordan, but he also taught MJ, Michael Jackson, how to sing and moonwalk. I just want you to know that.
He was in the living room
That
with
is
Joe.
hilarious.
Oh
my goodness.
Everybody step back in unison.
I gotta stop telling y'all my stories. Hey?
Oh, all right. I want to start here. There is a young man, and I did my best to cut the language out. So hopefully I got all of it. I did my best to get it all out. But there is a young man who is going viral right now because I believe he is a teacher and he is discussing what male teachers in middle and high school should be doing in order to be at these schools. I want to play this clip for you guys, and I want to get your thoughts. Elder Travis, we'll give you the first word, when we come back.
Videos that I've seen in a very long time.
I got to start briefing the male teachers that teach in middle school and high school. One thing, nobody want to talk about the elephant in the room. Y'all got these grown men around these raging hormone young girls that's developing, bro. It needs to be spoke on, man.
It's true.
Hey, dog, don't lose your job over that. Don't lose your family over that. Don't get sent to prison and have a charge on your jacket over that. Because we all got eyes. Yeah, you got to have that conversation with someone. You got to let them, hey, bro, you ain't going to get away with that shit.
I think what bothered me the most is the why. You shouldn't be doing this because you're going to get caught. And not because these are children.
Because we all got eyes. The girls are developing fast as a mother.
A child going through puberty does not suddenly become available to adults. So hip spreading, wearing shorts, getting taller, developing breasts, is still a child. And another thing that makes me sick is that a lot of these grown men try to assign adult sexuality to children's bodies. You cannot determine a child's sexual history or even a woman's sexual history by simply looking at their body or their clothing.
It needs to be briefings early on. It needs to be seminars held specifically for targeting men, telling them why you shouldn't try to indulge in a higher school student.
And even if a child was to have a crush on a teacher, the responsibility still falls on the adult to report inappropriate behavior. There should never be a "she came on to me" defense. Really listen to how that sounds. A male educator needs advice on how to resist a student.
Because we all got eyes.
This also made me think about some of the things that I heard growing up differently. I used to be so aggravated when my mom would tell me, "Oh, put on some clothes. Take them shorts off. You're not about to be walking around no grown men like this." And I'm like, it's the summer. It's hot outside. Or it's just shorts. Like, what's the issue? The issue wasn't me. The issue is that there are grown men out there who will sexualize a child just because you're showing skin. But the reality is, girls should never have to carry that burden. A developing girl should not be responsible for a grown man's thoughts.
Don't lose your job over that. Don't lose your family over that. Don't get sent to prison and have a charge on your jacket over that.
But this is exactly why a lot of parents are cautious about the adults that they allow around their children, because a lot of times these predators don't look predatory. It could look like your teacher. It could look like your coach. It could look like your youth pastor. It can look like your uncle.
But it needs to be seminars held targeting men, telling them why you shouldn't try to indulge in a higher school student.
This is such a tired conversation, and I really hate that we still have to have it in 2026. But I don't know, neighbors. What are y'all thoughts? Comment below.
I agree with the young lady. I do agree with her, but I want to say this real quick, and then Ella Travis, I want to turn it over to you. I need parents to make sure that their middle and high school daughters are dressing like middle and high school children.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you watch these videos, and I did a video yesterday on the foolishness that these parents are sending their children to school in.
Right.
I'm with her 1000% that, educators should not be, trying to sexualize. But at the same time, when you send your sixth grader who is 11 years old with a full lace front and a full face of makeup, when you got, some of these young women are going to school. I'm like, first off, why are y'all buying this stuff for these young girls?
Thank you.
Why are y'all doing this? So y'all are also a part of the problem. Now, the men definitely, first off, if you have those types of urges, you shouldn't be at school. Like, you shouldn't be teaching. That shouldn't be you. But on the flip side of that, too, I need parents to take some accountability and say, hey, keep a child in a child's place. Quit trying to, dress them up like they're, 25-year-old grown women. And we know we see this. Elder Travis, I'll give you the next word because I know you have a daughter, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I had to take a deep breath while I was watching. So my daughter is 10 years old. She's 5'2". She's projected to be 6'2". And so she, coming from the family that I'm in, my mother is 6'4". Most of the women in my family are voluptuous. They got bodies. First off, I want to say, in regards to him saying what he's saying, you kind of look like, why are you even talking about this? That's the first thing that pops in my head. Why is this why is this a thought in your mind? And for me, as I'm watching it, I'm like, he's saying this with conviction. Like, he got a lot of conviction, like as if he has seen this and he's like, man, and he's trying to convince himself why he's telling us, what he's feeling about what concerns him in society. Now, granted, my daughter doesn't dress like that. I think the parents 1000%, but he also had parents. And so whatever he's been taught and whatever he has seen, that has projected out, that has come on him. These thoughts ain't come out of nowhere. We all got parents. I was raised a certain way, like you say, stay in a child's place. One thing that I value about my daughter's not into the Nikes. She's not into she's a kid. She does as a kid. She acts as a kid. She moves as a kid. She speaks as a kid. She speaks very intellectual, but as a kid, as a grown man, I do not care what these kids look like. As a professional athlete, I have kids that look at me all the time. Young girls, all that. I'm tall. I believe I'm handsome, and today is my birthday once again. And so they're gonna show me love. But at the same time, when they're showing you love, just imagine you coming down, you looking how you looking, you acting how you acting, you're educated. You are the epitome of what people want, in society. Where is your strength, your restraint, brother? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, hey, as a pastor, as a leader, hey, anything that deals with that baby, that gun range is a beautiful place to be. The gun range is practice for, if anything happens, there's no way a grown man should be looking at a child in any kind of lustful manner. I don't care if she walk out with nothing on. She's still a child. You can go cover her up with your parents, where you are. The fact that your thoughts go there, there's something mentally wrong with you. That means that you are immature. Most of these men that are like that, they don't get the love from the people that's their age. They're insecure. They can't get women their age. I think is a problem, because I just saw something the other day where a 50-year-old man is dating a 20-year-old woman. No, sir. You can't get a 50-year-old woman, so you went and got a kid. I think they call that grooming or something like that. But it is very despicable, because at the end of the day, why is your mind there? Your mind should not be there. That means you have something going on up in there that's just not right. And for me, I think all those type of men, if you caught, you need to be either thrown up under the jail. I don't promote violence or anything like that. But mentally, you looking at a child as if like this is a woman. Like her mind is not there. Her body might be there, but her mind nor her spirit is there. Her spirit is, you can give her a piece of candy, she can do whatever you say. Grow up. Like, this is to me, that's a mental illness that needs to be checked. You need to go sit in the corner by yourself and grow up and figure out who you is. Because I got to get off that, because I got my baby. My baby.
I'm with you there, Elder Travis, and I'm with you when you're right. But the word says that women should dress modestly, right? And it tells us that we should dress modestly because men are the way that men are. So I understand. And this dude, it sounds a little creepy in the way he's discussing, but at the same time, when I was in high school, this type of thing was going on. And there was plenty of young ladies that told us, as high school boys, I ain't dealing with y'all. My boyfriend 25. I ain't dealing with y'all. My boyfriend in college. Right. I ain't dealing with y'all. I don't mess with high school boys. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't like some new phenomenon. This thing has been going on for a very, very long time. And I would assume that it was going on before, when my parents were in high school. Probably even more prevalent back then.
Oh, very true. It don't make it right, though.
I'm not saying that it's right. But what I'm saying is that the responsibility, I think, goes on both sides. I think
yes,
you are a male teacher. Hey, you need to conduct yourself in a certain way. But as parents, you also need to be teaching your daughters, you know what I'm saying, to dress accordingly, modestly. We understand that men, and it's not just men, people are inherently evil, sinful. Yes. We know this. And that's why the word tells you, hey, young lady, you need to dress in a manner that will hopefully keep these dudes up off of you. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. In my opinion, it goes both ways. Go ahead, Minister Denzel.
Two things. First of all, the Bible does say in 1 Timothy 2:9 that the women's supposed to dress in modest apparel. But I think the problem is that, and everything that was said was correct, and there's enough blame to go around. There's never a justification for any adult to allow their flesh to overwhelm them where they'll abuse a child. That's just, there's no acceptance for that. And they need to be prosecuted to the highest extent too. And schools are also responsible for the people that they hire to teach these children, and then know what kind of character the people that they're hiring, because that happens a lot, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But to think that the parents don't have a responsibility, because the parents are always trying to live their life through their kids, and they're always trying to brag on their kids, and they go beyond just being proud of them to promoting their good looks, and they do some stupid things. I have two kids, I had a boy and a girl. My daughter never went outside with anything that was inappropriate on her. I don't care. I wasn't trying to tell people how beautiful my daughter was. I can do that without making her look like a floozy. But the way these young people, girls are dressing today, and the way these parents are dressed, the way they're dressing themselves, is criminal, because you are actually asking for trouble. And I've heard women say, it's my body, but listen, let's be rational about this. It's your body, but if you're going out there dressing in a way that they don't think they don't know. They know what they're doing.
Right.
Trust me, I'm out here in New York. I walk past these women every day, and they'll give you that look.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at them, they will give you that look like, I know what I'm doing. Did I get you? Did I get you? And they're looking, they wait for you to look back a second time. I don't give them pleasure. But the bottom line is that they know what they are doing. So this is not no one-sided thing. These and I checked, I have checked a few of them. Once or twice, got cussed at as a result of it. But listen, if you flirting your stuff in front of me and think you're gonna get my attention and I'm not gonna say something to correct you, you in the wrong place. So the bottom line is that this is something that needs to be talked about, because a lot of people are not willing to take responsibility for what they're doing, and this is dangerous. So all I'm saying is that you need to check them, but you need to check yourself too if you're a male. Now I've been saved for quite a long time. I've been around a whole lot of women, and I can tell you right now that every man that came to that thing, they're guilty on their own and they're accountable on their own.
Absolutely.
You can never blame somebody else for what you choose to do, because you have to. That's a choice. You have to make a choice to mess around with a young person. You have to make a choice to look at them two or three times.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that again. You have to make a choice to look at them 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So your attention span in that area helps to promote that temptation. All I'm saying is that there's blame on both sides. Everybody ought to be held accountable.
Minister Denzel, you are absolutely right. But on this show, we have covered the shenanigans of what's going on in these school systems.
Sure have.
And we've covered the shenanigans of what these teachers are doing.
Yep.
And what they want to teach.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We've also covered out in California where they were trying to lower the age of consent down to 12.
Yes.
We've covered this.
Yes.
So at what point, when you know that they want to do this, teachers, administrators, politicians are passing laws for this to happen. At what point do you say, okay, parents, you have to protect your children? And that's boys and girls.
That's right.
Because over the past probably 10 years, maybe 15 years, we've actually seen more stories of women teachers doing to do with young boys. We've actually seen that a whole heck of a lot. That has ratcheted up a lot. So at what point, because we know, we got to start, if we can't call ourselves Christians and not believe the word. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. We can't call ourselves Christians and not believe the word. The word says that people are sinful inherently.
Right.
So at what point do you as a parent say, you know what, I know these people are crazy? What point as you as a woman say, I know these men are crazy. Let me do everything that I can to keep their attention off of me.
Thank you.
Right.
AT.
Yeah, this is always a rough one to look at, because two things can exist at the same time. When I look at that video, I do see two truths, and both of them, they're not in conflict with each other.
Nope.
For the gentleman up there, it's a wild video to post online. Okay. Hey, you're a braver man than I am. That'll destroy your entire life real quick if you don't say the right thing and take it out of context.
Right.
But okay. So here's a really uncomfortable truth that we don't like talking about in American society, to his point. Two of them for you. One is there's not a magical switch that is flipped between 17 and 18 years old where all of a sudden a woman overnight is suddenly attractive, right? Does it make it okay? Not at all whatsoever. But the second point is the hormones of men are for some reason something that's often just pushed aside. Girl has her period. She could stab her husband. She could crash her car. She could blow up a building. I know I'm going to get in so much trouble later on, Wise. I'm so sorry. Right? She could do all these things. And I was on my period. This is my hormones. You understand? Right? And we're used to dealing with that. We're told she's just going through it. It's her cycle. It's menopause and all these things. But then when we talk about the male version, our hormones, and all of a sudden it's gross, right? Like all you care about is this, right? And so I will give him that piece. Here's why I will not give him any kind of win, and it's for the woman's point. That is a wild thing to post online. If you are, to Wise's point, if you are a Christian, You have a responsibility as a man to be a protector in society. And that's something I don't see amongst this new generation of man coming up there.
Nope.
I don't care. I do agree that parents need to definitely check your children when they go outside. What are you doing? Right. But I don't care. If you are an educator and you raised your hand and say, I want to be around these children and I'm going to advertise to the world that my purpose is to be an educator and they are safe around me and I'm going to give them back to you safe, unharmed, and ideally intellectually a little bit stronger than they were when you gave them to me. These parents inherently, whether they realize it or not, are trusting their child's safety around you every single day. I don't care if she's 18 years old as a senior in high school, which would, I guess, in some sick, twisted way make it legal. And if she's dressed like a dime piece and everything in between, if you can't contain yourself, men, this is for all of us. If we can't contain ourselves, what do you think is going to happen to this country? What do you think is going to happen to the rest of society if the men can't control themselves? I give it to you scripturally for those of you who say that you believe. In Nehemiah, yes, that's a real book in the Bible. No, I didn't make it up, right? In Nehemiah, Nehemiah's having a conversation with a bunch of important individuals who were scared, right? People said, hey, you're trying to rebuild a wall. Yes, there are borders and walls in scripture. I'm not making it up. You're trying to rebuild this wall over here, and people on the outside are mocking you, and they're coming to try and take your lives. And in Nehemiah 4:14, he tells them, don't be afraid. He says, remember the Lord who is great and awesome. And then he says, talking to the men over here, fight for your brothers, your sisters, your daughters, your wives, and your homes.
Yep.
So if they can't trust their daughters around men, we have a very huge problem in the United States of America. And I'll tell you the truth. I don't think that prison is going to quite cut it if you harm a child. I have to always say that, and I will absolutely die on that hill. The death penalty is also in scripture. I'm not making that up either. We have to figure out, what are we doing with individuals that have made it at least normalized enough where someone can make a video about this and talk about it online.
AT, what's normalized it is the fact that in the schools, they want to teach all this gender stuff, all these pronouns and all these things. If they're doing that, of course. If we can't be that naive to believe that they think that a 5-year-old can change their gender, but they also can't consent to, sexual activity.
Make it make sense. That's
know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
we got to understand what's happening in our schools. We say this almost seems like every time we get on here, get your kids out of these daggone schools.
That's right.
We say this almost every time we get on this program.
That's right. Yep.
Because we know that these people, and we've covered politicians wanting to pass laws to allow this to happen.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We have a party of people that are actually, they're trying to pass laws to allow this type of foolishness. We know that this is happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to get the ladies in on the conversation. Celeste, what are your thoughts?
Well, okay. So first of all, teachers are mandatory reporters. And if in fact there is a young girl in your class who's exhibiting behavior, particularly that is sexually inappropriate, that suggests that in fact that girl is is probably being used or misused in some way, maybe outside of school, maybe in the home, or maybe somewhere else. That is a red flag that something is going wrong with a girl. The problem with this man in this video, like the birthday boy Elder Travis was saying, the problem with this video is this man is too in his own temporal understanding to understand you may be witnessing somebody harming a child.
Right.
You are a teacher. Teachers are taught. I've spent some time in schools, very little time, long enough to know to get out of there. And I have, everybody in this chat can witness, I have never advised anybody to put their child in one of these schools. Okay. I am 100% against that. And for these reasons, we are, this man is so temporal in his understanding. And in my opinion, so juvenile in his understanding that he is unable to see that there is possible harm and possible predator behavior somewhere around this young lady, because what he doesn't know is what a normal 12-year-old girl acts like. So that way you understand the biology of women. You should. you would know when you see people acting outside of that, that is an announcement that something wrong is going on around them. Because normal 12-year-old girls do not behave in that way. And instead of being flattered by it, and instead of they think I'm so cute, all the little girls follow me around the school, instead of being so flattered by it and having to work within yourself to learn how to resist so you don't end up in jail and lose your family, you can't protect the child because you don't know what normal women are like. And many men like him, maybe not in schools, see women absolutely dressed inappropriately, and worse, behaving inappropriately, and they are so excited by the opportunity to take advantage of that. Oftentimes they don't realize this woman is displaying all of her abuse in front of you, and instead of you recognizing it and saying, oh my God, this isn't because I'm so great, this is because this woman has been so destroyed that she is behaving this way. Many men see that and go, oh, look at me, I got it tonight. And they hop on it and they go ahead and further the abuse. We've got to stop that in society. This is number one, why you should be very careful in what scenarios you put your kids in. And for me, school is not it. It's too many unknown variables in a school system that I don't know the kid my kid is sitting next to. Maybe your kid is fine. Maybe the teacher's fine. But maybe the kid they're sitting next to comes from an abusive predator situation and now going to teach your child some wild,
Right.
As kids teach other kids. You're absolutely right.
All too much. There's too many unknowns for me to ever be that comfortable. But Wise, I will give it to you like this. First of all, I have very little faith that these parents can understand how, in fact, they need to dress their young girls, because they absolutely do. And let me tell you, the first reason to dress your young girls modestly is the number one reason is to make an announcement to everybody who sees your child that your child comes from a place of love and protection, and there will be some consequences if something happens to them. The first thing you don't understand, like you think when you go out and you put your kid in the Nikes and you put him in whatever the cool stuff is to wear right now, you are making an announcement. Guess what? When you put your kids in modest, clean clothing, what that says is my child is taken care of and I'm on top of this. And if anything happens, you're going to have to come by me. That is an important thing. You put that as a billboard. You are writing that all over the back. You are putting that, stamping it right here. You need to do that for your children. You need to have them walk around in the world, not like they could be anybody's victim. But when they walk in a room, people look at them and go, oh, somebody loves that child.
That's right. Amen.
No, I'm with you on that. Go ahead, Mr. Desmond.
There are two types of clothing, especially that I think is child abuse when a parent buys it for their kids. These girls that are wearing these tights that go up the crack of their backside, and these shorts that are so short that you can see parts of their cheeks. These are becoming popular items. And any parent that will buy their kids those kind of clothes or let their kids wear, that's abuse. And the parents need to be checked on that.
Yeah. No, Minister Denzel, you're absolutely right. But you also got to think about this. And in certain communities, I don't want to say all, and Crystal, I want to get you in on this. The music that they're listening to, you got these young girls listening to that Spin That.
Yes.
They're listening to the Sexy Reds and the Cardi B's, and they're listening to all of this foolishness. And they're going to school with these, 30-inch bust downs, whatever that is. They're going to school with these skirts that are so daggone short that they look like there are videos out there. I had to blur it out on my video because I'm like, this is ridiculous. These are, I don't know how old you were, but they had these skirts on, and then they had the camera pointed upwards that you could see almost up their skirt. I mean, so they're almost kind of sexualizing themselves because of the music and the these artists that they idolize. I mean, and it's really, really sad, man. So we understand, with the adults. the dude that created this video is crazy for
He
putting this
sure
out
is.
there. He is insane for putting this out there. You know, but at the same time, he brings some awareness to the fact that, hey, you as parents, y'all got to do better, especially with these young girls. And when you see what's the way they're out and they're sending them to school, the other thing is this: they got rid of the school dress codes, and that and parents fought for this. Y'all remember, what was it? Probably before the pandemic, 7 to 8 years ago. There were parents that were suing the school system to allow their daughters to go to school with basically nothing on. The shorts that you were discussing, the tights that they were discussing, the prom dresses. That was a big thing. Y'all remember the prom dress lawsuit that they had about 10 years ago, where the girls was going out with all their business out, and the parents was like, I bought the dress for her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there are problems all the way around that need to be discussed and solved. But when you got the school system that just allows the kids to just come however, when my sons were in school and they both, you know, they played sports and you know, my oldest, we would go to these games and you see the things that these young girls are in at these high school games. You listen to the conversations that they are having at these high school games. It is insane. It is insane. So the teachers, they need to be vetted, and I'm at a point now where I think they probably need to. Hey, we need schools for boys, schools for girls. Women teach the girls. You know, but then again, at this day and age, you get some, you know, you don't even know if that solves it. How about, hey, just get your kids out these daggone schools, man.
That's right. No more indoctrination centers. Just do it yourself.
I'm sitting there thinking about it, but now I'm like, I've seen too many videos. They grooming the girls now. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, we'll have a whole slew of, you know, chicks that are part of the alphabet community. It'd be ridiculous. I'm sorry, Crystal. Go ahead.
I want to say I don't agree with y'all about that man. I appreciate what that man said 100%. I don't think he's wrong for what he said. I know that girl wanted to say what she said, but I think he was being real, and I'm going to be real with all of you right now. How old was Tyra Banks when she started modeling? How old was Naomi Campbell? How old was Cindy Crawford? How old was Chanel Iman? These are all supermodels that were pouncing down the runway in little skimpy stuff from very young. So I can't say men are wrong, quote unquote, for seeing, because men have been groomed to look at little girls, because these are little girls modeling. I remember trying to model and they wanted me at young ages. I'm telling you. So this is not absurd that the men are seeing these girls like that, because that is what society, the media, everyone has done. As my sister was putting in the chat, they were counting down for Britney Spears to turn 18. If y'all remember that, they were counting down for Mary-Kate and Ashley to turn 18. Hey,
Crystal, what was the girl that was on that Dr. Phil show some years back? What's her name?
Catch Me Outside girl.
Yeah, the Catch Me Outside girl. They were waiting on her. She made a couple $1 million on OF.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. So you have all of these variables that's going on around here. No, you shouldn't look at children, but when you are trained to look at children as adults, they're not going to the 20-year-old women, 20 and above, 21 years old and above women, and saying, we want y'all modeling. No, they want them little girls when they are like 13, 14, 15, 12. I think Chanel Iman started modeling when she was 12. Tyra started when she was 15. That is when they want these girls. So when men are seeing these same girls going into the schools, my sister and I were talking about this last night, because I have a video coming out too today, like what you were talking about, Brother Wise. I remember we would go to school and your skirt better be below your fingertips. Like that skirt better not be above those fingertips. But now I'm seeing these girls, these skirts is barely covering their butt cheeks, and they're wearing crop tops that are bra tops. And I'm like, where are y'all going? I don't even understand. We can do that in school. And understand, these girls, like you just said, they're hearing Cardi B, they're hearing Sexy Red, they're hearing Ice Spice, they're hearing all these people. And all of these people are sitting here talking about, he flew me out. I need to, you got to bust it wide open for this. They hear WAP. And if we think back, these 16, 15, 14-year-olds were wives in biblical days. If we go backwards, these were wives. These weren't these weren't considered children back then. Why I'm saying all that? This has been a grooming of men the entire time. So when you see this and the man coming out and say that, yes, it may sound pervy, but that if you're not thinking about it from that aspect and realizing, thank you, somebody just put what I was about to say. They had John Benet Ramsey looking grown, and that was a little girl that lost her life.
Yeah.
Collars and tiaras, all these things. They're training people. Entertainment is training people to look at little kids, not as kids. So yes, we talk about the pronouns and the things of that nature, but just the visuals that they're giving out there. They're training. Remember, they said train up a child in the way that they should go. Listen, these people, boys have been trained, men have been trained, everyone has been trained not to look at girls as little girls. They are taught to look at little girls as grown women, because when that 14, 15, 16-year-old girl comes walking down the runway at Victoria's Secrets, everybody's gawking at her, or girls want to be her. So we have to be real about this across the board. We can't just say these men are pervy. Are they pervy, or did people create that environment so that's normalized for everybody to look at them like that? I remember my daughter is what, 5'9", 5'10". She looks young in the face, but she's always been, she's tall, she's shapely. I keep her covered. I listen, her hairstyles. I don't care how old she was. She's gonna get some good pigtails, whatever, throw her up, send her to school so she could look like a child. So people would recognize her child. But even when I was younger, because of my height, my parents wouldn't send me to school inappropriately, but because of my height and my build, and men are so used to the Tyra Banks and the Naomi Campbell's, my men would just gawk at me because, wow, this is a beautiful girl with long legs and shapely. I'm just saying we have to be real about this situation. So that man coming out and say that is a very real thing. And I still remember being in high school and girls were over here trying to get at that teacher and get at that teacher and get, because, oh, Mr. So-and-so is fine. Oh, did you see Mr. So-and-so pull up in his motorcycle? Oh, he's fine. I wish I could get at him. That's normal. That is actually normal. And I just want people to realize it's normal because that is what society created. So when society has created this, and then to turn around and say, oh, y'all are pervy for thinking that. How? Y'all created it. If y'all didn't create that, then we could say, okay, that's pervy. But when you created that, and then you are dressing your girls with the 304 starter packs, with the weaves touching their butt, they got the eyelashes, they got the caterpillar eyelashes going on. They're wearing the little tops. Some of these girls, I am shocked when they tell me, oh, I'm 17, I'm 16. They look older than my daughter. Some of them look older than me. They look like they've lived their whole life 15 times over.
Mm-hmm.
They look like that. So again, we can't sit down here and say, well, why would he say that? As somebody said in the chat, and I agree with them, listen, they're over here. That man is trying to warn men and keep it 100. Maybe God was using him to speak to these men because, let's be real, these women, they're filling out, and these girls are going to try because they're raging hormones. Because let's be real, I don't care what generation you were from. There were people that found teachers attractive. These girls will try to come at it, but I agree that you should report it. But I'm telling you, when you have these hormones going and these girls are following these celebrities, and I can't even argue that what he said was wrong.
Minister Denzel,
I'm trying to clarify. I want to clarify from Sister Crystal, because I think that we're all on the same page with this. I'm not sure where your disagreement is. I think you said you had a disagreement and you were going to another direction, but I think that we were all on the same page when it comes to some of the things he was saying that was correct. I think that you said something about that they're not perverts because they've been programmed to think a certain way. I'm 66 now. I've been around a whole lot of young people all my life. I've seen all of that programming. I've been exposed to all that programming. And all of my life, I have never looked at a young child and felt, I just, ooh. So my point here is that
you said a young child.
Before I even got, well, no, I'm saying that I'm trying to clarify. I'm going to get clarity from you, because I know you said that. I'm trying to see if you're saying that the men who are looking at these young children inappropriately are not responsible because the system and the society have programmed them to think that way. I am saying that's why I want to get clarity on, because when you said that they're not perverts or whatever, they've been programmed. I want you to give you clarify that.
The man that everybody, because people in the chat was saying that man was a perv for saying that. The woman said that this man was a perv for saying that, and I'm like, he's not a perv, because men have been trained to look at young girls to like that. Didn't we just do a story of Shannon Sharp dating a girl who was like 18? Did we not do a story?
Yeah. And she got him for 10 million. Yeah,
exactly. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that.
So that's why I just want you to clarify. Yeah, I just want you to clarify that, because I know that you're making a great point. But I didn't want people to misunderstand what you were saying. You are not saying that there aren't men out there who are perverts, but the man that was in that video that was naked, that was expressing that complaint, it was justified and he was right. So we're on the same page. I just want to make sure we clear that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And I agree. Like I said, not because listen, I love my grandfather, God rest his soul. He always used to say, shun the very appearance of evil. That was all that's what he lived by, and he avoided all of those situations. But what I'm saying is, like you just said, I have never looked at a little girl like that. But I know people who don't even know some of these girls are little girls. I knew people who lived in Florida that ended up with these being on the offender list because these same little girls snuck into the club. They take the girl home thinking the girl is whole 25, 30 because they look that age.
That's right.
But they are like 14, 15, 16 in the club. So that's what I'm saying. You won't look at a little girl that's presenting like a little girl. But there are girls that are little girls that present like grown women.
You can't tell.
No, and that's Crystal, you're right. I know when my son was in high school, I remember going up to the school and you'd see some of these young girls look like they had a couple kids already, and they were just like, wait, they in high school? So, there's something going on in the water and the food and things of that nature. And Travis, I'll give you the last word. I knew you want to add something.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything. Even like you said with the guy. But even in that process, the Bible tells us to let every man work out his own soul salvation. So I feel like there is no excuse, because even for myself, like I said, as a professional athlete, I used to have women break into my hotel, be naked in my bed when I would come home from practice, broke in the hotel and run us down. That's not going to make me sleep with you. And I think that the responsibility on both sides, just like everyone said, make them dress modestly. But even if you don't let your child dress modestly, I'm still not about to sleep with your child. Regardless of and we're, most people are old enough to know, and we men, and we know how we can be manipulative to women. When you manipulating a young girl, when you manipulating a woman, when you are manipulating a situation. And so for you to put yourself in that situation and then call the excuse, to me, that goes to, because just like Minister Dan just said, man, I done seen every form of woman you can think of. But you're not about to make me do this. You're not about to make me go into this act. Granted, you can lie about your age. You can do if it don't feel right, I ain't doing it. Where your mama them at? Where your daddy at? Like, can we ask some questions? You just slept with what's your mama look like? How old your parents? Where you from? What you doing? Now if it's just sex, they just doing sex. But I don't need a class on you to tell me not to talk to a little girl.
Pastor Travis, I agree with y'all, but y'all are talking from a Christian perspective. Y'all are talking.
I'm saying even when I wasn't who I am, like
what I'm saying is you are talking. So like you said, I won't do that.
Well, my mother and father taught me that.
There was some discernment and things like that. This man, when he was giving this video, he's giving it as a blanket for all male teachers. So again, you guys may have had that upbringing, and I'm not going to look, but again. There are girls.
No, we got your point. You're right. We got your point.
I get what you're saying.
There are girls that don't look. They don't look
We're with you,
like little girls.
We're with you, Christian.
I get exactly what you're saying. But at the end of the day, just like when God came into that garden and they sinned, and he said, "Where are you?" Men lack accountability. At the end of the day, you still got to be accountable for your actions. You got to know better. You got to do better. I'm with you 100%. I agree with you.
And just realize, though, when you are putting your child in these environments, when you're putting your child in schools, it's like sending your child into a zoo. You don't know.
You don't know what you sending them into. That is true.
you got kids who's, they're drug
Right.
abusing, their
Yeah.
parents may be drug abusing. They could be,
Yeah.
oh my God, they can be experiencing
You have no
anything.
idea.
They have been
Yeah.
neglected for years.
Right.
They can, and
Yeah.
it forms the culture of the place where your child is spending their time. You might as well go on and just put them in the zoo and leave them and tell them good luck. Hope you make it to 3 o'clock. I mean, it is crazy to me.
It is crazy in there.
How
It
we're
is.
just
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Go
What
on
was the name of that show? Was it Cuties that they were putting on Netflix? Where
Oh,
they
that
were-
was the Netflix show Cuties where they were doing the dancing and all that
That's what
type
I'm
of
saying.
stuff.
Another one
Yeah.
where they're making the girls very inappropriate, and again,
Mhm.
programming. I always tell people
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
TV programming because they're trying to program you. So
But it's not
Oh
the,
yeah.
the way
Well,
you're
when
able
you
to
look
do
at
that.
when you look at the programming from the TV, you look at what these politicians are pushing, which is mainly liberal politicians, and what they're pushing in their agenda, and then you look at the depravity of the parents.
Yeah.
It's a full circle situation. You know what I'm saying? Some of these young people, they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't have a
Right.
chance because they're getting it from. You don't have the politicians trying to protect the kids. If you live in one of these liberal, highly liberal cities or states, you don't have teachers because of what they're pushing. You got parents that are either oblivious to what's going on, they don't care, or they're a part of the problem. Either way, they are a part of the problem. If you don't know, you don't care, or you just adding to it, you're a part of the problem. It's a mess. Some of these children, man, they don't stand a chance. It's sad. Let me read some super chats. We're gonna keep it moving. Shout out to Jim Odie with the $5 super chat.
keep cracking on the U.S. Air Force, and jokes on the 5-head will be flying. Navy boys are real close for a reason. If you know, you know.
Oh Lord, come
Wait,
on.
so
now,
what
Jim.
branch was Jim in? Was Jim Navy or Air Force?
I don't know.
Because like
Probably
you're
Air Force,
defending
I'm
the Air
guessing.
Force, but you're saying that you're going to support the Navy. So you got to make up your mind, right? Which level of traitor are we going to be today? Either
He wasn't
way,
saying that he was going to support the Navy. He's saying that Navy boys are real
why is
close.
he defending the Air Force then?
Yeah,
Why is he
that
not
sound
coming
like
for
a lot
you?
of projection to me.
It really does, right? Did you wish that you had joined a different branch? It's okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Jonathan, been a member for 9 months, man. Thank you.
Shout out to my baby girl turning 5 today. Happy birthday to all who is celebrating today. God bless.
All
Happy
right, now.
birthday to
Shout
your
out to
baby
Jonathan's
girl.
little one. All right, now. Thank you, Southern Charm. Go Dogs, $2 super chat.
My dad always told me, aim between the wind and water.
Shout out to Kim and
Kim Sandlin,
Kim Sandlin. Oh man, I can't see.
y'all need to go on the road. I'd come see you. Thank you.
Thank you to Primo Double XL with the $5 super chat.
Funny that every time you hear a story of a teacher and a student relationship, it's a female teacher. It goes both ways. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I've been seeing. I haven't been seeing male teachers. I've been seeing a lot of
Exactly. That's actually been more prevalent, these women teachers out there. And it's not a situation where they're single either. A lot of these stories, these are women that are married. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these youngins. It's crazy out there, man. It's crazy. Shout out to Stacy Chapman coming through with 440 joules. Thank you, LJ, for the $5 super chat.
I agree with Wise. Cover these kids up. Stop the madness. You're advertising them for SA.
Yeah. Shout out to Nene with the $2 super chat.
This is why all schools should have uniforms.
I agree with that, Nene, but they'll find a way to ratchet that up too. I mean, we've seen them. They'll go get the skirt that's 3 times too small. They'll find a way to ratchet it up.
They do.
Shout out to Rachel coming through with the $2 super chat.
Homeschooling keeps looking better each year.
Yes. The thing is that when people see the homeschooling, they're like, well, how do you socialize your kids? I'm like, you can socialize them by sports, clubs, things of that nature, homeschool cohorts, but you get to control who your kids are around. I'm with Celeste. You have no idea who you're sending your kids around. If I could go back and do things differently, that is what I would do differently. I would not have sent my kids to public school. And I probably, if I could go back after the pandemic, I definitely would have just said, you know what? You're not going back to regular school, bro. My oldest was out by that time. My youngest was in high school, and that was the kind of a thing we were kind of going back. Do we keep him at home or do we allow him to go back? Because he missed freshman year of high school and the last part of 8th grade year. And, we kind of kind of wrestled back and forth with that and thinking about like just should have stayed home. I wish if I could go back, especially with what I know today, I definitely would have said, nah, bro, just go on and finish that here at the crib and get you a job.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dylan, for the $5 super chat.
Real talk, Pastor T. Happy birthday, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Shout out to LJ coming through with the $5 super chat.
Both can be true. You can't call a man a pervert for looking at exposed breasts and booty and having a physical reaction. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cold Steel Rails with the $5 super chat.
A sheepdog.
Okay. Marcel Rush coming through with the 10 jewels. We appreciate your support. Eric Romine with the $2 super chat.
No need to teach anatomy. Just look at fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the fashion has gotten real ratchet these days. Oh my goodness. Real ratchet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Wifey coming through.
The parent is causing their children to play the harlot. Very true.
That is very true.
Thank you, BKC, for the 2 jewels. Appreciate you. We got Miss Tate in the building with the $5 super chat.
We used to have an enforced dress code, the dollar bill rule.
Oh, yeah.
Line couldn't be higher than a dollar bill is from your knee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, you're right, Miss Tate. I remember that. And I remember if you came to school as a young lady, boys never had this problem. It was always the young ladies, you know, with the dress code issue. They would put you in the longest, ugliest T-shirt or something. They had some little
Lost and
clothes, you know
found.
what I'm saying? At the lost and found, they find something that, hey, either you go home and change, and if they can't get somebody to come get you to take you home and change, hey, go pick something out that box.
You can't walk around here like that.
Oh, they send you home at my daughter's school. You going home. You ain't staying there. You going home.
Well, I like that idea too. Shout out to Wifey once again coming through.
Minors are not innocent. Their harlotry begins as teens, but continues into their 30s. You label her at 30, but their heart and minds were loose in their teens. That is so true. Shout out, Wifey, because that is so true.
It's true.
Shout out to Karen Elliott coming through. $5 super chat.
Toddlers and tiaras was a thing for a reason. Crystal is right. If you put adult makeup on a 5-year-old, who do you think is looking at that?
I remember seeing that. I was just like, what is going on?
That's crazy.
I just watched, I never watched the whole show. I just seen like little clips on Facebook or whatever. It's just like, there's no way. I'm glad I don't have daughters, but my daughters would not have been doing any of those things.
Yeah, I didn't let my daughter get her nails painted till she was about 6. She can't, it's certain colors she can't do. You definitely can't do white. We're not doing none of that. Like, no.
Thank you, Dylan, for coming through with the $10 super chat.
Same thing with these pageant shows on Netflix where 8-year-olds are pushed out there by their mamas with lipstick and makeup. It's gross to the nth degree.
You normally don't see the dads involved in that either. You know, and if dad, he's probably done lost a battle, you know what I'm saying, at the house. He's lost the battle, you know, and he's just like, hey man, I give up, man. Okay. Thank you to Primo XL, Double XL coming through with the $5 super chat.
I met a guy once in Thailand who said he taught school in Myanmar. Myanmar. Single older guy wanting to teach in a poor country. Nope, don't trust it.
You know what that is. Yeah. You know what that is.
Especially
shout out to
Thailand.
Shout out to Debbie Oliver, the 100 jewels. Thank you so much. Thank you, Justin Bundy, coming through with the 2 jewels. I mean, people got to understand that in these third world countries, if you got enough money, some of these folks, they will sell you their kid.
Yeah, that's right.
If you got, and when I say enough money, I ain't talking about thousands of dollars. I'm talking about hundreds to low thousands. You see that happening in these countries. So those folks, you know, those people that are a part of that, they know what time it is. They know, and they go to those places and exploit. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's no way we have a trafficking issue because nobody's buying.
Yeah,
I mean, there's got to be somebody buying,
somebody purchasing.
If people are willing to, walk up from God knows where to for the chance to be trafficked.
Yeah, no, you're right. Shout out to Justin Bunny coming through with the $2 super chat.
These young women know exactly what they're doing.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I want to ask this question: do you think the parents? Do you think these moms, you know, that bought these, you know, kids, you know, these outfits? So do you think mom knows?
I will say
what she's doing.
I will say this. I as I was going through the videos last night to prepare to put this video out today, I started going into each person when they had their the video. I'd go into their profile, and most of these children belong to single mothers.
Mhm.
Not,
I don't think that's a surprise, right?
not giving no single mother an excuse, because I know single mothers. I'm one that we were going to make our children be children, but I'm going to let you enjoy your childhood. But a lot of these moms, their daughters are like their sidekicks,
Friends.
best
Yep.
friends, their mini me. So
Yep.
if you notice, there came a trend now. Where they have the mom outfit and then the baby outfit, and it's matching, so they're twinning. I don't know if you've seen those. There's a whole bunch of them where they're twinning, so you got your little 2-3-year-old with the jeans and the them. It's not a 22-inch because she's too small, but maybe like a 12-inch long ponytail, and she's about 2-3 years old. They have because these moms are making their children their best friend, not
That's
their
right.
child.
That's
So
right.
again, they I don't think they really care or think about those things. They're more thinking about, this is my best friend. We best friends. That's what they're thinking about.
Okay, listen, I have a problem with this. And here's my problem. I don't think that we could treat these people as normal. These are aberrations. These are aberrations. Normal people are not trying to twin with their 3-year-old.
Come on.
Seriously.
They're not.
That's the
So
point.
I'm not saying, and I'm even going to say this about the girls. When we say they're girls that know what we're doing, back in the day, they used to call them fast or whatever else. At the bulk of this, the majority of these young women really want attention. They want some attention. Unfortunately, they may be buying more than they can really handle. However, they're mostly just trying to get attention. The ones that are actually trying to get more than attention are the ones that I'm saying are presenting a red flag, particularly at a very young age. When you're talking middle school, 11, 12, 13, that is not normal for girls of that age to actually want to more than attention, more than to stand and to giggle in the corner and he looked at me and I said, okay, yeah, no, all that's fine. But I'm talking about people who are really putting, like the gentleman was saying, these girls are approaching you and they're like, hey, what's up? That is not attention. And when young women, and the younger they are, this is, first of all, you are a mandatory reporter. This is not behavior.
Is that the case nowadays? I mean, that might have been the case
it's not
20 years ago, but nowadays, because they don't have to report. If Lil Sally comes to school and all of a sudden is now Lil Stevie, they don't have to report that to the parent. So if they don't have to report that to the parent, what else do they not have to report?
I give up. Y'all take the zoo. I
Brother Wise is right, because I have those conversations, and like I said, I have friends that work in the school system. You can't tell if Stephanie is now Stevie. You can't tell that she's pregnant. You can't do any of those things. That is,
they've removed parents out of a lot of these equations here in this day and age.
Right.
I know one of my friends. He's no longer a teacher. He got out of the school system because he was just like, dude, it's too crazy. He had a young lady that was coming to school and was identifying as a boy, and I cannot remember this kid's name, and I guess it doesn't matter at this point. But he was saying it was so difficult to keep it together because in the grade book it would say one thing, but you had to address said kid as another way. When the parent would come in for a parent-teacher conference, you couldn't let the parent know that, hey, at school we call this person this. He was like, bro, it was too much, and everybody was in on it except for the parents.
Yep, that's criminal, man.
Yeah, it's criminal.
Yeah,
it is crazy. Go for it.
No, I was going to say that's exactly to your point. Don't roll the dice anymore. If you're someone who has children, I don't want to hear any more of the whole, well, my neighborhood has a good school and it's fine. It's too easy for teachers to hide things from their parents. It's empowering now for teachers to hide things from the parents. They will stand 10 toes down and tell you that, no, you're trying to restrict them. Going back to the dollar comment from Miss State, right? That is restrictive to half the country, right? You're looking down at women and you're telling them what they can and cannot do with their bodies, right? That's oppressive to them. Just cut out the middleman altogether. The Department of Education has never posted a win anyways, ever. In its entire history. Just do it yourself. Don't be a parent. I understand it's hard for a lot of individuals. I get that. Maybe we got to make some real serious sacrifices. It's your child, right? If you can do it, find a way.
So Les, about 3 weeks ago, you did a video with the sassy teacher telling the kids that they don't have to tell their parents about whatever it is that they got. You recall that?
It was a man.
And that was the teacher that was telling them that. And there was kids in there applauding the fact that, yeah, we don't have to tell our parents anything.
And there were other adults, not just kids. There were other adults in there. And again, I'm back to my, this thing is why don't y'all just do this? When you get ready to have the christening of your baby, you bring them up to the front and then get a representative of the state to stand there with you, since that's what y'all intend to really be doing with your children. Because these people do not. It'd be one thing that, it used to be in education that we traded. It was certainly not all of this with the gender identity and all that, but we traded some of the things that happen in the public for the fact that you could get a good education. Now you're not even getting a good education, and they're introducing your child to all the things that you have strived to keep them away from. It's a bad deal all around. There's nothing to gain here. There is no return on this investment.
But can I just ask one last thing? I just want do y'all realize, again, because like I said, I was going through these profiles. Some of these moms that are taking these kids to school are like now turning 21.
Yeah, they're young. Yeah, they're youngins.
See, I'm not even sitting my kid next to somebody.
Well, there was a picture of a young lady who took her kid to school. She had on a satin robe and a bonnet, and she was dropping her kid off at school. And I think the kid looks like maybe 5-6 years old or so, and took a picture with the kid with a satin robe on and a bonnet. And they posted it. This is what we have going on right now, man.
But if I was walking in the line to bring my child in, and that mother and daughter was in front of me, and they were to say, "Are you here to register?" I'd be like, "Not anymore." I'm immediately leaving.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys recall? It had to be maybe a year ago that we were talking about this, where the school came out and was like, they were upset at the moms coming to school looking crazy like this with see-through stuff on, coming to pick their kids up and stuff. Yeah. I mean, this is, hey.
But that goes back to what I said, Brother Wise, because quote unquote, there is no more Big Mama. Big Mama is probably 30 years old.
Well, Big Mama trying to be Little Mama at the club.
so that's what I'm saying. Because when I started looking, and the thing is, when you're not grounded with, because listen, I was a single mom. My kids, when I had my daughter, I was 21. My son was when I was 23. But I had my mother who was in her 50s. I had my grandmother in her 80s. I had my daddy in them. So I had Big Mama. I had everybody there. You gonna raise these children right, because you're gonna have to answer, regardless of what you think. You're gonna have to answer the Lord for every
I love that. I love it. We don't have that anymore, man. A lot of these people, they do not have that anymore. Let me keep going. Shout out to AK Bauer with the $5 super chat.
There is an inner attitude that needs to be addressed, taught before the outer display, and attitude can be changed. Starts at home, church, and friends. Amen.
Yeah. Shout out to Miss Tate with the $5 super chat.
Grown men were sweating me when I was 12 or 13. My basketball coach was a perv. Thank God for my mean, strict grandma. But God, Miss Tate, we right here.
Shout out to P5 Man Podcast with the $5 super chat.
Everything you all are talking about is proof of two key things: a lack of godliness in the home and a lack of godly men leading their homes. Pray.
Right. Shout out to Tack coming through. Tack Wilson with the 440 joules. Appreciate you, brother. And thank you, Tack, for the $5 super chat.
Hey, my people. Thanks. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
Amen.
Thank you, Debbie Oliver, for the 10 joules. Appreciate you. I'm DeAndre. Hey, man, it's been a little minute since we see you in the chat, man. Where you been at, bro?
I miss you, DeAndre.
What's going on, bro? Thank you for the 200 joules. Appreciate you, brother. Jim Odie in the building, $5 super chat.
I made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at a young woman. Job 31:1. Men will be responsible for what goes on behind them eyeballs.
Facts.
Right.
Amen, Jim.
Thank you, Carol. Carol T. Allen coming through, gifting 1 ARP family membership. We appreciate you. Alicia C. has been a member for 2 months. Praying over our children is so important. Amen. Amen to that. Shout out to Pokemon Difficulty Hacks with the $5 super chat.
Anyone willing to hurt and expose their children like that deserves the harshest penalty under the law.
Correct.
No argument for me on that one. Shout out to Gandaria coming through with the $10 super chat.
This is why you need religion. If you don't have one that teaches you basic principles like modesty, find one that does. Mothers and fathers need to dress modest in home as well as outside home.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Amen.
Shout out to It's Not Your Fault, Allen Out Recovery Channel. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, brother? $11 super chat.
Kids today need parent consent for aspirin, but not for birth control or to access an infant unaliving. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Shout out to Primo Double XL joining God's God's verdict at Crystal. Thank you. Thank
Amen.
you, Primo. Coach Still Rails with the $5 super chat.
But let that same girl try to get a pierced earring. They'll never let her.
Appreciate you, Jeff, coming through. It's Not Your Fault, Allen Out Recovery Channel, $11 super chat.
AT, cool shirt.
This one is from Jeff right here. You mentioned it yesterday. I had to rock it for you, Jeff. Thank you very much. For standing up for the family.
Look at that. Jeff's, I'm telling you, Jeff's my rich uncle, just so y'all know. You know what I'm saying? He's officially adopted me to the family. Thank you, Primo Double XL, for the $5 super chat.
To Crystal's point, anyone remember John Benet Ramsey? Anyone recall who claimed the deed? An American teacher in Thailand. He lied, though.
Thank you, Dylan McClung, for the $5 super chat.
The whole "it takes a village to raise a kid" has completely gone away.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That was a Marxist myth to begin with.
Thank you, Justin, for the 30 joules. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go and check out Jeff. He has a video that's going to come out today of a phenomenal interview he did. There was a young man who lost his life battling addiction. He was an alcoholic, battling alcoholic addiction. Professional golfer on his way, had a real chance to make it to the PGA Tour, man, but the addiction got a hold of him, and his father is telling his story. I watched it yesterday. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, it's tough to get through because you just hate to hear stuff like this, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal story, man. Phenomenal. Y'all go check that out. We'll be right back with Ask Me Anything.
Anything.
Ask me anything. Ask me anything.
Hi, and welcome back to Ask Me Anything. Today's Ask Me Anything is inspired by our conversation about the questions currently plaguing the WNBA. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. The questions are, what is a woman and who is eligible to play in the NBA? Many of us struggle to understand why a league of seemingly intelligent women appears unable to simply enjoy its success. The WNBA has been pulled from relative obscurity into the national spotlight. It has experienced unprecedented attention, a rapidly growing fan base, and increasing player salaries. Unlike the NBA, the league also benefits from substantial financial support, reducing some of the traditional pressures associated with profitability and performance. By almost any measure, the WNBA appears to have found its version of nirvana, yet conflict and dissatisfaction remain. This raises a larger question. Why does achieving more seem to make some women less satisfied rather than more? One of the things that has struck me most since moving to the South is how happy people seem to be. By contrast, in many blue cities, I have observed that even highly successful people can appear deeply unhappy. Women now occupy top positions in law, medicine, government, and corporate America, fields that only a few decades ago were largely dominated by men. Yet, increased achievement does not seem to have produced increased contentment. For the past 30 years, virtually every institution girls and women interact with has reinforced the idea that happiness is the measure of a meaningful life and personal worth. I believe this is a dangerous premise and a terrible joke because happiness is inherently elusive. Many people define happiness as the absence of displeasure, but in absence of difficulty, disappointment, conflict, or pain is impossible to sustain. When women are taught to constantly pursue happiness, every period of dissatisfaction can become evidence that something is wrong and must be fixed. Perhaps this helps to explain the impulse to continually fix the WNBA. Instead of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, the mindset has become everything is broken, so something always needs to be fixed. Maybe the better pursuit is not happiness, but contentment. Contentment is the ability to remain satisfied and grounded regardless of the current circumstances of your life. It doesn't mean experiencing a constant high or pretending that problems don't exist. It means maintaining perspective, cultivating meaningful relationships, accepting life's inevitable difficulties, and having a clear sense of purpose. The implication goes way beyond the WNBA squabble that poses little societal impact. Women are now the majority practitioners in fields like medicine and law. What happens when this discontent permeates your physician's office or in the middle of your court battle or in some part of a new law for where you live? Women are an important part of what makes families and communities strong. However, we cannot keep our families and communities strong if we cannot come into alignment with reality and be content with what we find there. In the end, happiness comes and goes, contentment endures. This has been Ask Me Anything. Please send your questions or inquiries to askmeanything4547@gmail.com, and I'll see you next week.
I'm a poor person. Of course I carried before I married.
My name's Haley.
My name's Matthew, and we're pregnant. What did he say?
I'm a poor person. Of course I went to college. I'm a poor person. Of course I buy depreciating assets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm a poor person. Of course I'm getting divorced. I'm officially divorced. I'm a poor person. Of course I don't raise my kids in the home with their father.
You are not.
I'm a poor person. Of course I don't restrain myself sexually. Duh.
And he'd be like, damn, I wish I had some head. I'd be like, yo, bro, I got you.
I'm a poor person. Of course I won't read The Ass Backers Way to Move Forward.
Beautifully done, Celeste.
All righty.
Yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
back.
Very
Welcome
informative.
back.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. What is a
Why
woman?
ain't you on the media? Why ain't you in media?
I'm here. I'm here with y'all.
What is a woman? It
Should
shouldn't be a difficult question to ask. Answer,
Yeah, and
you know.
the fact is this dissatisfaction with women, I'm gonna maybe do this for another one. There's apparently a big thing going on right now with women who've raised their children, get to their late 40s or early 50s, and now they're getting divorced. I mean, they've had a wonderful husband, wonderful life, wonderful home, and they're all what did Tia Mowry say? They're all graduating from
They're
marriage.
graduating from marriage.
Yeah, they're graduating from marriage now. This is what this is. This quest, this unquenchable thirst of something as elusive as happiness is what's plaguing them. They have been told that they're supposed to be happy every minute of the day, and they're not supposed to settle for anything less than that. And it's actually destroying everything they're involved with.
Yeah. Amen.
Shout out to Motto Green coming through at 550 jewels. We appreciate your support. Thank you, Nene, for the 100 jewels. We appreciate your support. AK Bauer coming through with $2 and $2 super chat. Oh, I got you muted, Crystal. You was typing. Hold up. There you go.
Satisfaction, happiness comes from Jesus in heart. Amen.
Look at that. Brother Daniel in the building with the $10 super chat.
I just wanted to thank ARP panel handling the interaction with Lampman. You left him with a better understanding of real Christ following people, Christian. Amen.
I thought that was a good conversation. My wife, when we got off, my wife was like, that was really good. I wish that would have kept going. I wish he'd have called earlier and we'd have got him on.
Yeah.
But and then we didn't have Daniel get up here and filibuster for an hour and a half. He's the one. Hey, y'all talking about me. He's the one that drove the daggone show to 5 hours yesterday.
HR will contact him.
Yeah, I want to commend that guy.
Go for it.
I want to commend that guy and tell him how much we appreciated his cordialness.
Right.
He was very respectful. I thought that was very appropriate.
Yeah, it was.
If I can add on to that, I haven't had a chance to do it with Minister Danzel yet, because I know you didn't really, for that one with Lampman, I know Celeste was taking the brunt of that. But Celeste, very nicely done. I've not had a chance to do that with you, with Wise, with Minister Danzel or Pastor Taylor. I've done it with Crystal way too many times. But I have to say it was very nicely done, Celeste. You didn't lose your temper. You asked good questions, and you caught and you were listening to him. And I think that's incredibly important as well.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to scare people off either, And Wifey said it that she appreciated the fact that it didn't come across as we were all ganging up on him, And we tell people all the time, you can come up, with disagreements. I mean, we're not going to bite you, and we're not going to, we're going to try our best to be as respectful as we possibly can. I think that's the goal, man. You can have these types of conversations with love. And show respect. You can do that. It can be done
easily.
The fact that they come up is already a sign of respect. So you just have to meet them where they are. Because the fact that they bring themselves up there, to me, is already a big show of respect.
Absolutely. You have hundreds of people that are looking at you. Odds are, if you're coming up to disagree, most of them will disagree with you as well. That's nerve-wracking. It truthfully is.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to 2020 Vision coming through with the $5 super chat.
That was perfect, Miss Celeste. This needs to be played over a loudspeaker in every liberal city.
Thank you, Mr. Largie, for the $5 super chat.
A child's behavior is a reflection of what's going on in the home. Happy birthday, Elder Travis. God bless you and your family.
All right,
amen.
Shout out to Brother Daniel coming through with the $5 super chat. Thank you for hitting the collection plate, brother.
Of course, I'm a poor person. I keep buying books and not finishing. Hollered, laugh out loud.
Hey, Brother Daniel, I am the same way. I might be reading 3 or 4 books at the same time and feel like I can't never, because people always send me like, hey, I got another one for you. I was just like, golly, man, let me finish.
You got to do them one at a time.
Yeah, you got to do them one at a time.
It's the 3 or 4 at a time that makes it sure that none of them are going to get finished.
I know, exactly. I got to do better. Shout out to Uncle Darnell coming through with the $5 super chat.
Your desire will be for your husband. That verse is evident in so many ways.
Yeah. Don't tell some of these women that, they'll cut you for that. They'll cut you for that language. What?
That's why you got to keep them away from the zoo. You have had the chance. You look, we've been able to raise women who could mother children, who could be wives to their husband, and who could be stewards of their communities for hundreds of years. We've been able to do that. And the way we did it is we kept them away from the zoo. Okay?
That's crazy. You call the public school system the zoo, but it's I don't know. The zoos these days are a little more organized than these public schools, man. That might be the wild.
We didn't go out unchaperoned. You didn't just.
That's a wild thing to say, Wise. It is true too.
Listen, we didn't go out unchaperoned. We weren't out here just anywhere with anybody, grown and living. We weren't catching trains to go visit a friend across town. Young women were not doing all of that. And to be honest, neither were young men, because young men were helping their father and their grandfather and whatever was their father and their grandfather.
Whatever the trade was. Yeah.
That's right. If whatever your father and your grandfather were doing, that's what the young man was doing. He wasn't out in a gang. He wasn't out able to stand around a group of other 10 or 12 other young men, because we understood as a society that men left alone and unsupervised was a dangerous thing for a community. So we didn't allow them to do that.
Well, and we're seeing that play out today, and look at how that it hadn't worked well for us.
People need to take their kids back and get them away from. I don't want them near me. Get your kids, okay? Take them back.
I'm with you on that one. Shout out to Emmanuel Griffin coming through at 500 joules. Appreciate you. Okay, got you. All righty. I want to play this clip here from the Democrats, man. Democrats are somewhat eating their own, man. You know, you got the communist wing of the Democrat Party pretty much taking over, and you got a lot of people that are, frustrated, behind it. So I want to play this clip for you, get you guys' thoughts.
You're not socialists, you guys are communists, and you guys are renaming it socialism. Now, the first thing that these people always talk about is abolishing the police. They never talk about abolishing the military, which they will then use against you guys, well, me and everyone else in the United States of America. So I think people really need to think about what they're voting for, because you guys are so pro take away people's guns and this and that, but they're never talking about abolishing the military.
Here's a serious question for you on the left. If you guys are so big on wanting to protect democracy and preserve the Constitution and everything else, and believe that everybody should have an equal say and all this other fantastic stuff that you guys pump out there, then why are you guys voting for people who openly endorse or openly say that they're democratic socialists? I mean, I have a feeling it's because you hear the word socialist and you jump all over thinking that means free stuff and equal things for everybody. But if you actually look at the agenda the Democratic Socialist Party wants to push, it means rewriting and doing away with our Constitution completely doing away with 2 of the 3 branches of our federal government. So how exactly is that protecting our democracy and preserving the Constitution for everybody?
It's because you put this out on X on Sunday, and I said, get Michael on the air. You're talking about, you said that you're supporting Mike Rogers in Michigan instead of Abdul Rahman El Sayed. And you said this: I refuse to defend or support anyone with an SS Totenkopf tattoo simply because they had a D next to their name. I won't defend or support anyone who's too cowardly to stand up to extremists who think the mother of my best friend, who jumped from 95 stories because the alternative was worse, deserved what happened to her. Yet there are so many Democrats who are willing to give these folks a pass just because, hey, it's all about getting elected.
Look,
it's not about
I want the Democrats to win. I think they're going to win the Senate. I think they're going to win the House. I want Chuck Schumer and Brian Schatz to be the next majority leaders. I want to do it without El Sayed. And that can be done. But this isn't what I signed up for. Totenkopf and SS and defending it and then defending. And Hassan Piker is just not the leader of my party. And it's okay for Democrats to say that. My old boss, Chris Matthews, was on TV this morning saying Democrats just need to do the hard part for politicians, which is sometimes standing up to your friends.
Right.
Having a spine. All right, gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us.
More moderate-leaning Democrats came out with a new pledge that they circulated among their colleagues in the House, and the pledge was this: we are Democrats. We support capitalism. We do not support socialism. That, Scott, I kid you not, that was their pledge. I mean, it is unbelievable. But this socialist infection of the Democrat Party by the DSA wing, the communist wing of the Democrat Party, they have taken over. And you're right, when AOC is leading the Democrats in the 2028 presidential race against J.D. Vance leading it on our side, it's going to be an epic battle between two totally fundamentally different worldviews about what America is. Is America good or not? And where America is going. And that's going to be on full display in 2028, but it's on full display in this midterm election in 2026 as well.
It's not an easy question. Mm-hmm. And frankly, I've got enough difficult questions at the federal level. But one thing that is not difficult for me, and that is there should be a wealth tax at the federal level. There should be a much more progressive tax code than the one we have.
Here's what I think, and I've been thinking about this for days now. The DSA has done a favor to non-DSA Democrats, to regular Democrats who are regular members of the party. They've listed what they believe in. Their chair made that clear. It's in Peggy Noonan's column this week. It's very clear We're going to get rid of ICE, not just ICE. We're going to get rid of the border. We're not going to have a border anymore. We're not going to effectively control people coming in and out of the country. And so I think we're going to get rid of prisons. We're going to get rid of the Pentagon. We're going to negotiate. Well, what happens when your hostages are your former diplomats, like what happened with President Carter? People take your diplomats hostages. What do you do then? You need an army. You don't like to have an army, but you do need to have one. All these positions can be denied by any regular Democrat. All you have to do is go out there and say, thank you, DSA, for telling us what you believe in. I don't believe in that stuff. And discriminate, because you can't follow AOC. I like AOC generally, but she came out and said, we're just a big tent party. Well, the problem with the big tent defense is every Democrat has to defend all this crap coming from the left. They've got to say, I believe in all this crazy stuff, and that makes me a Democrat. You've got to say, no, I'm not a member of the DSA, and here's why, and make it very clear. So it's going to require politicians to be good politicians and say, here's where I stand.
Right.
This is what I'm a regular Democrat. I'm for labor unions. I'm for opportunity for everybody. I'm for civil rights. I'm for all the things I believe in as a Democrat, but I'm not with this crowd. And I think that's going to be a line that has to be drawn by Democrats, because I'm telling you, the last 6 weeks of this election is going to be an attack on El Sayed and the DSA in New York and the Mamdani, and it's all going to come out and blame every Democrat for everything the DSA is doing. I don't believe in the DSA plan. I don't believe in their checklist of what they believe in. I'll say so. But running for office is going to require that, I think, before the election.
Crystal, I want to give you the first word on this. You can go with this wherever you'd like to go. What are your thoughts?
We try to warn y'all. I'm going to just keep saying it. We try to warn y'all about these people and what they're up to. When you see people like Hassan Piker just running all over the place, he has become the voice of the Democratic Party. I don't know if y'all realize. See, well, he's the voice of the DSA. And so now, since AOC wants to say it's a big tent, that means he's speaking for all of y'all. And I know y'all don't like that, but he's speaking for all of y'all. Listen, I know a lot of y'all are saying we want to, we're going to come over here and support the Republicans. Don't listen. If you coming over here, please leave your bad decisions, your bad politics over there. Do not come over here and be no EBT Republican. I want no parts of the EBT Republicans. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them when you keep bringing your liberal mindset over here and then want to try to switch things. Don't do that. Again, these people are not playing with you. When he said AOC, he likes AOC, but AOC is saying it's a big tent. If y'all pay attention to what AOC is doing, AOC is trying to run for president. So she's trying to clean everything up right now. She's trying to say, no, she's not for socialism, but yet she was out there in New York running all over the place cheering for Mamdani, trying to make sure Mamdani got in office. So all of a sudden now you're not really into socialism. Since when? You're not into that type of when? Since when? Since you decided you're going to run for president? Absolutely not. Same thing. She was over there with El Sayed. So again, we are not stupid. And the problem is I feel your intelligence should feel insulted because they look at y'all and they think y'all are stupid. They think that you're stupid. So that's why they try to change the narrative. They're trying to make it look a certain way. That man says, well, I want the Democrats to take over the House. I want the Democrats to take over the Senate. We don't need El Sayed to do that. Again, DSA members are moving through all different parts of the country. They're not saying DSA loud and proud like some of the real radical sounding ones, but they're there. So if you're at this point, if Democrats take over the House and the Senate, that means DSA is taking over the House and the Senate. I'm going to be 100, y'all. That is who's taking it over, because they may switch up the language to make Democrats feel comfortable. But let's be real. They are being Trojan horses right now. They're trying to make their way in to take over. And the Lord says, when use discernment in all that you do. You're supposed to seek wisdom in all that you do. Do not look at these sheep and wolves' clothes, these wolves in sheep's clothing, and then turn around and be like, no, but it's a sheep. Even though their fangs are hanging out, it's still a sheep. Even though they're attacking the other sheep, it is not a sheep. They're wolves. That is what they are. And they're trying to get into a place of power. And everyone should be on their P's and Q's watching everything that's going on. Again, stop voting blue no matter who. At this point in time, y'all better turn around and figure out how to support some people that actually believe in America, because everyone in the DSA wants to burn down America. The fact that Mr. Hassan Piker said that the people from 9/11 deserve what they got. These are y'all heroes. These are y'all kings. These are your leaders. These are who y'all want. We want no parts of people like that hate America. If you hate America, then get out. We don't need you here. Go to one of those other places. We don't need you here. But don't try to burn down America and try to push y'all stuff. And I'm going to say this last thing, and then I'm landing my plane. I'm tired of telling you people there's nothing free. So stop listening to these people that keep telling you free, free, free. Someone is paying for that. You are more than likely paying for it, because I'm sure those New Yorkers who thought they're getting free, 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 as these billionaires leave and these millionaires leave, y'all gonna be paying the bills. It ain't nobody else. It's gonna be y'all paying those bills. There's no such thing as free. Someone is paying for it. So at this point in time, when you learn that someone is paying for it, you should say, you know what? At this point, I might as well just stick with capitalism, because at least I can determine what I do with my life. Under socialism and this communism mindset, they will make the decision how much you get. And someone will always be in power, because in communism, in socialism, someone is in power. And please believe, these people that are so hungry for power, they're not going to treat it like we're all one happy family. No, they're going to treat you like you are the slaves and the servants that they see you as. I want y'all to understand that. That's all I have to say now.
Crystal, you are absolutely right there. AOC has come out and said that she is not only just a member of the DSA, she is an active member of the DSA. She's come out and said that. She just had an interview on that a couple of days ago. So that's out there. And then she tried to say that it was just New York, but then they asked her, well, what is New York? Well, New York is actually a chapter of the larger DSA. So you do believe in the things that they believe in. The other thing is, folks got to understand, because you are starting to see a lot of Black folks, kind of get on this socialist wave because they're using candidates as faces. The Daria lady, the dude up in Detroit that just won the primary of whatever. But people got to understand that 80% of the DSA are white radical communists that are upset. Most of them are college educated. They're upset. Celeste said it the other day that, whatever they thought this would be here in America for them, because they've amassed all this debt and so forth and so on. And they're angry, that they can't be the elites that they want to be. So, hey, we'll just burn it down, and then we'll force y'all to look at us as the elites, because we're quote unquote the educated. Mm-hmm. And that's ultimately, what they want. Somebody did a study the other day, and you look at the DSA's program or their platform and what they want to do. They said it would cost about $200 trillion over 10 years. And they were like, where would you think that $200 trillion? We're already $40 trillion in debt. Where do you think this $200 trillion is going to come from? Precisely. And the thing is, they did it. They said, if you took not just tax, took all the money from the billionaires in America, that's not enough money. If you took all of the money from the companies, that's not enough money. If you did all of that, you still had about $130 trillion deficit in comparison to where they need to get to in order to push all of the programs that they would like to push. Mm-hmm. Their program, their platform, it doesn't work. Nope. It will fundamentally bankrupt the country, and we will be no different than any other failed state out there, like all the South American countries that have tried this, because there's a plethora of them. And all of those South American countries that have tried it, they're all turning back to capitalism because they realize it doesn't work.
Yep.
It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, you have these champagne socialists. Hassan Pikers, y'all know that dude's worth $20 to $30 million?
Yeah.
This dude's not broke. And they're asking, well, when are you planning on giving your resources away? You don't have any intent on doing that.
Of course not.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Not for me. I was about to say, rules for thee, not for me. He's not going to give up that money. Come on now.
Minister Danzel, go ahead.
It was. I think that it was, you were absolutely right when you said that it's a good thing that the DSA are being platformed in media, and they're being forced to answer questions and explain what their platform is. I think that's great. It's very important that they get this out, and I think that's hurting them more than anything else. But I think that America needs to see what their sleazy platform is all about. But the fact that they have gotten this far in American politics is an indictment on not only the Democratic Party, but it's also an indictment on the Republican Party and on the conservatives and everybody that's in politics. Because had
the American people in general.
There you go. They should never have gotten where they are. And I think that we need to make sure that the Dems are not allowed to disown the DSA, that they are responsible for them getting where they are. But we all are in a sense. But we need to fight this, because this can destroy our nation if we don't nip this in the butt and stop this. This can go places where we don't want America to go. And I think that we need to take this seriously. And I think that every chance we get, especially on the public arena, we need to so thoroughly destroy them in conversations about this whole thing that they look shameful no matter where they go at. I think that we still give these people too much credibility. That too many people make them seem like they're making sense when they're not. Even these media that are asking them questions, when they make these dumb statements, do you notice that there's no real powerful pushback? There's no real, slapping them down. It's almost like you just let them express themselves. We need to go more than express themselves. We need to express how stupid they sound and how dangerous they are. Look at how they describe Trump. He was a dictator, a fascist. I mean, he was, all of these horrible things. Why aren't they doing that to these DSA people when they interview them on their shows? That's all I got to say.
Minister Denzel, I'm gonna push back on you a little bit.
Cool.
You are starting to see that. This is honestly, when it comes to the primaries, this might be the first time in a while that we've actually seen mainstream media actually show some journalistic chutzpah. Seriously, they have been asking the questions. They've also been pushing back a little more. We hadn't seen that in a while.
I agree.
This is the first time that we've seen it. The fact that there is any follow-up questions, I mean, you got to think, we had a president in office that would get interviewed and they were not allowed to ask follow-up questions.
No, you're right. You're correct.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So now at least they are asking some follow-up questions, asking them to clarify. Most of these people are flustered when they do because they're not prepared to answer the follow-up questions that come behind the original question.
No, you're right.
We're finally starting to see mainstream media actually do journalistic work. Finally.
But Wise, what I want to see them do is follow up with more powerful comebacks that will slap these people down. And that's what I'm not seeing. I want to see more of that.
I can get with you on that. Go ahead, Elder Travis.
Yeah, I think one thing we talk about it a lot. We Christians, spiritual warfare is real. People always think spiritual warfare is just you get in your church and you're praying and you're like, oh my God, the devil is attacking me. No, this is literal. It's a principalities of powers in high places. And see, what another thing that people don't understand is witchcraft. Manipulation is a form of witchcraft. And so a lot of times just going over everybody's head is because they're hitting them with the witchcraft. They don't know which way they're going. So when they hit them, they're like, hold on, did he say this? That's why they're twisting what they're saying. That's why they're changing what they're saying. That's why they're manipulating certain words and they're saying things a certain way where Minister Denzel, where the backup question can't really come because they don't really know what they really just said. So it's kind of like, okay, you said what you said, but maybe you're right, but maybe you're wrong. They don't even understand. They're confused. And because they're confused, they don't know how to move forward. They don't know how to change. As they're trying to change the narrative, they don't know how to speak the truth to whatever's going on right now. That's why when they say these things about Trump, all these different things, show me what he's done wrong. All these things you said about him, show me what he's done wrong. All the things that you're trying to put in place, you trying to take out of this way, you trying to clear the slate, because those that don't know what she said, I don't want to EBT people over here. She right. You come over here, what are you bringing to the table? A lot of us done been around a bunch of people that want what you have, but they don't want to put in the work. We don't want a bunch of people to come over here that don't want to put in the work. So now you're working harder because you done invited these people over here because you've been manipulated, because now they're putting it in front of you and they're manipulating you in a way where you don't even understand the manipulation. That is witchcraft. It's not no voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. That's not witchcraft. Witchcraft is you being manipulated in your face and you don't even know that you're being manipulated. So therefore, you don't have a follow-up question to the fact that you just got hoodwinked. You just got played. You just got tricked. And now you sitting over there like boo-boo the fool, like, you know what? And like you say, Brother Wise, the American people just pushing it. You know what? We do need something different. Do we? What's broke?
You know what's really scary, Elder Travis,
Yes.
is that you have people in some of these churches out here that are pushing this socialist mindset, this socialist propaganda. In some of these churches, you have pastors that are pushing this. They're allowing these people to come to the church and speak to their congregations about how you need, Medicare for all, and how you need, the government in every aspect of your life, and every, they won't tell you that you need Jesus in every aspect of your life, but they'll tell you that you need the government in every aspect of your life.
Right.
Celeste, before you go, I just want to ask Wise. I never gave an example of what I meant by pushing back harder. When in the clip that you showed, one of the news people asked him that, don't you know? Are you saying that you don't need a military? And so that was a good question. But my question is, like, why aren't they saying? Are you aware of what your policy is asking for us to destroy America? I mean, that type of vernacular is not. I'm not hearing that. Are you trying to destroy our nation? Your policy. Yeah.
Well, Minister Danzel, they don't have to ask that question, because these people out of their own mouths have come out on video and said, we're trying to destroy America. Right. You don't even have to ask the question.
Well,
they've come
you're
out
right
of their
about
own
that.
mouths and said it.
You're right about that. But when they're interviewing them on their programs, they don't bring those clips up to them. See,
Some of them
I haven't seen it yet.
There's been a few. There's been a few that they have. I've watched. I've been following this, and I've been watching it. There's been a few situations where they have come back and been like, "Hey, y'all just had a whole video about, wanting to destroy America, wanting to, destroy the Constitution, so forth and so on." So there are some that are pushing back. Others are a little tougher than others, but it is happening.
Okay, we need a lot more of that.
I'm just saying, mainstream media. This is the most that I've seen from a quote unquote, what they're supposed to be considered professional journalism.
No, you're right about that.
This is the most that I've seen in a while from those folks.
You're right about that. You're
I
right.
was going to say, Minister, remember what we just saw a couple of days ago, where they were like, well, what is the taxes? And the girl was like, I'm not sure. How much? You said you want to tax them. Well, what is it? And
what does that number look like?
What does that number look like? Or when they asked her, she said, we need to defund the police. We need to get rid of the jails. He's like, so where do the people that commit the crimes go? Where are the people who take the life? Where are they going?
Right.
So,
they're pushing back. They're following up with. They're doing a good job. The other thing too is that they've also have come out and said, well, we want to get rid of the jails for criminals, but not for people that disagree with the party.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They've come out and said that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're kind of, they're putting their own selves out there. We just need to be smart enough to believe them. I say it all the time. When people speak, you know what I'm saying? You listen to them and believe what they say. We just need to be intelligent enough to believe them. You got some folks that will make excuses, but they didn't mean it that way, because we did watch that. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it like that. They meant it like that.
Right.
Okay, so we give you the last word on this.
All right, so I'm going to pick up where Minister Danzel left off. We need to have the media, if they want to prove to us that they are trying to do journalism in earnest, they need to say, this policy is intended to destroy America, as many times as they said very fine people on both sides.
Come on.
They need to say it exactly that many times, because that is how you will make sure that the public knows that these people are trying to destroy America. The same way they wanted to make sure that the public believed that Trump said very fine people on both sides in the context they presented it. I think the media is, and the Democrat Party and the leftists. There's three groups who are all in this under the same tent. That's the big tent. If you want to name who's in the big tent, it's mainstream media, the establishment Democrats, and the leftists. And I think because the establishment Democrats and the leftists are
you gotta call them what they are, Celeste. Don't be nice to them. They're communists. This the communist wing of the Democrat Party.
Right. And the communists are in a death match. That's what they're in. This is the battle royale. They are in the fight to find out who will control and who will take over the apparatus of the party. That's why there's been no donations to the DNC. That's why the DNC is broke and they having to mortgage their own building as collateral to try and have a midterm elections. That's why, because they basically said, no, we're playing for keeps here. And the poor media has become schizophrenic. It doesn't know because it's used to getting all of its orders from the establishment Democrats.
Right.
However, most of the media itself is communist. They are the same age as these DSA. They went to the same schools with these people who are now being drafted as candidates in the DSA, and they are friends with so the media is going through a period of schizophrenia, which is why you are seeing slight pushback, but no real interrogation. Because on the one hand, they don't want to upset their bosses, but on the other hand, they're secretly hoping that the communist takeover of the party succeeds. And that's what we are watching. Now, for us, I have always said that the most important thing to do in any conflict and the first thing to do is duck. So for us, duck. Try not to catch any incoming. That's the most important thing we could do. Stay on message and don't catch any incoming. Because with all those wild swings and flailings that are going on over there, a few blows could come this way. So we have to be very aware of our posture, our message, and what we are doing. But what we are watching is we are watching the death knell. And the only reason the media, James Carville, Bill Maher, people like that are coming out to say that they cannot support the party of Hyson Piker is because they're terrified of losing the midterms.
Absolutely.
That is it. That is
absolutely.
That is the only reason. It's not that they are ideologically against these people. They're not. Because in the end, what we have found out about Democrats to be true is that they don't really have an ideology beyond power. That is the ideology of the establishment Democrats. The communists have a real ideology. It includes power. Power is central to it, but they actually have an ideology. The establishment Democrats' only ideology is you seize power so you can steal money. That's it. And so you can funnel money. And the communists are saying we're seizing power so we can funnel money, but we want to funnel our money based on our first principles and our ideology about where we think money should be redistributed to. So they're not so distant. What has put the fear in these people is the fact that the midterms are coming, that there's a possibility, God, please be a fence, and we can pass the Save America Act, or that ICE or other federal troops will be at polling stations or near ballot boxes, so they can't come through the night and drop those heavy drops of harvested ballots that they used to. You know, Stacey Abrams is on the sidelines. She can no longer say $1 million. She can guarantee $1 million for Georgia anymore. So that state's out of play. So I mean, they've got a lot of headwinds that they're facing logistically, and now because of that, they're looking at some candidates that they think, and they probably are correct, are going to be unpopular in a general. And they're trying to say, if we want to take back the House even narrowly, Republicans, there is no win in saying, well, they only took the House back by 2. That's a loss.
Right.
That's a loss. You have to understand what a win looks like. You have to take everything on the table, period. They don't give anything up. We give up no seats. We give up no seats. There's not a single seat to give up. You give up no seats. You can't just say they only won by a little. It doesn't matter, because what the headline will say the next day is that the country rejected the policies of this administration. It will not say it only rejected by a win of 2.
Yeah.
It won't say that. So you lose. You lost by 2. It doesn't matter. You lose. Give up nothing.
Let's read some super chats. Keep it moving. Shout out to Vicky Vale coming through. $2 super chat. Did you drop Jeff's YouTube in the chat? Yes, I did. It's in there. Go check him out. Shout out to Cap America with the $10 super chat.
Amazing how one side of the aisle just sits there and lets teacup socialist influences take over and run their party without even being candidates.
Yeah. Thank you, 2020 Vision, for the $5 super chat.
The Hunger Games is what the U.S. looks like if these DSA Nazis win.
Yeah. Thank you to Reggie the G coming through, $10 super chat.
I absolutely love the truth. These Christians bring it. Praise God and the Son He sent us for the truth of salvation. USMC.
All right, now. Okay. Appreciate your service, brother. Shout out to Martin coming through with the 440 joules. Okay. Thank you, Cold Steel Rails, for the $5 super chat.
For the weapons of our warfare, not of the flesh, but divinely powerful for the destruction of fortresses.
Great. Thank you, Justin Bundy, for the $5 super chat.
I said it earlier, the words of Revelation are flying off the pages. We are in the great falling away. Stay vigilant in the Lord.
Absolutely. Shout out to SCR Broadcast for the 440 joules. Thank you to Slot Kill Me for the 10 joules. Shout out to Justin Bundy for the 10 joules. We appreciate you. Thank you, Smetty, for coming through. $5 super chat.
I missed a lot today. I need this channel and y'all's message. I am but a sinner. Let's go, Steelers.
Okay. Thank you, Justin Bundy, for the 10 joules. We appreciate you. Justin Bundy again for the 10 joules. Thank you very much. LJ coming through with 10 joules. We appreciate you. Unsilent coming through. Been a member for 6 months.
Love hearing sound messages. Love you all and enjoy your laughter too. Can't lose our humor.
No,
Absolutely
you can't do
not.
that. Can't do that. Shout out to Justin Bundy for the 10 joules. Appreciate you. Thank you, Bubble, for the 2 joules. And thank you to Justin Bundy for the 10 joules. We appreciate your support. Thank you very much. We'll be right back with Gutter Bunny of the Week.
The bunny of the week. Yeah. We loud, we bring the heat. Hey, hey. Hope it jumping out their feet. Hey, hey. It's Gutter Bunny of the week. Hey, hey. Gutter Bunny of the week.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, hide your children, secure the carrots. Somebody sanitize the golden trash can because it is officially time for another edition of the Gutter Bunny Awards, the prestigious weekly award celebrating people who were presented with an opportunity to demonstrate class, common sense, accountability, dignity, home training, and they collectively got together and said, absolutely not. And let me tell y'all something. This week's competition is stiff. I saw y'all comments. Y'all are never going to get all of the above. But we've got coaches, we've got professional athletes, we've got professional race hustlers, and apparently we've got some parents who looked at the first day of school and said, how can we make this as ratchet as humanly possible? 4 nominees, 1 golden trash can, so let's get into it. Number 1, we have Stephanie White, the Indiana Fever coach. Come on down to the front, Miss. Now Sophie Cunningham gets clothesline. Y'all all saw it. We all saw it during that game. She wasn't bumped. She wasn't accidentally tangled up. Not, oops, girl, excuse me, my bad. None of that. And baby, when I say clothesline, I mean clothesline. And Stephanie White said it wasn't that bad. She didn't see it. And then she comes out when people started calling her out for that. And she says, I just want to focus on love, grace, kindness, and humility. Ma'am. Oh, ma'am. Stephanie, we got to do better. There's a time for love. There's a time for grace. There's a time for kindness. And then there's a time to say, why did she just hit that woman like the Undertaker did? This is what happens when people become so obsessed with sounding compassionate that they lose the ability to say something simple as that was wrong. Somebody could throw a folding chair across the court. Stephanie would walk up talking about, before we judge, I just think we need to understand her lived experience. No, ma'am, we're not doing that today. We need a referee. Grace does not require pretending somebody didn't behave badly. Forgiveness does not eliminate consequences. And kindness does not mean removing standards. Sometimes a loving thing to say is, ma'am, you were absolutely wrong. So Stephanie White, for bringing a Hallmark card to a wrestling match, Gutter Bunny score 7 out of 10 carats. Strong opening performance, but this competition has only just begun. Nominee number 2, we have Umar Johnson, the wannabe doctor. Oh boy. Everybody grab your Pan-African flag because Dr. Umar Johnson has entered the Gutter Bunny arena. Now, Dr. Umar has been talking about the Noah Wells case and pushing his idea that there is something much darker surrounding his death. Unaliving, cover-up, suspicious circumstances. And here's the problem. Questions are absolutely fine. Ask questions, challenge narrative, demand evidence, investigate. But when evidence begins contradicting the story you want to believe, you cannot just keep moving the goalposts, sir, because then you're no longer investigating. You're writing a fan fiction and no one wants to read. And this is what happens when every single situation has to be squeezed through the racial grievance machine. Something terrible happens, racism. Somebody doesn't get hired, white supremacy. Somebody gets arrested. It's the system putting its foot on our neck. McDonald's forgets your barbecue sauce, the legacy of colonialism. Can anything just happen anymore? Can somebody simply make a bad decision? Can somebody simply be wrong? Can something tragic happen without somebody trying to transform it into another racial conspiracy? Because here's the dangerous part, and I think people don't understand this. When you scream racism about everything, people eventually stop listening when racism actually happens. Maybe you should go back and read the story about the boy that cried wolf. And I don't care how many titles you put in front of your name, doctor, professor, scholar, grand imperial poobah of the Pan-Africanism, whatever, your credentials do not exempt you from evidence. So Dr. Umar, for taking a tragedy and seemingly trying to force it through the racial grievance assembly line, Gutter Bunny score 8 out of 10 carats, sir. Very impressive. But somebody said, hold my EBT card because it's time for nominee number 3. Parents, please come to the front of the class. We need to have a family meeting because apparently some people looked at the first day of school, the day you're supposed to be celebrating your child getting an education, and thought, you know what this needs? We need a stack of cash just sitting all over them. That's what we need. Now, y'all saw the clip that we attached. Little children dressed for school, and we've got children posing with and fanning money like they're shooting an album cover. Then you've got a group of Memphis high school students going viral with their first day of school pictures. Everybody standing there flashing stacks. And then, Lord have mercy, we have these adorable little girls dressed in their school uniforms, hair done, backpacks on, cute little pink shoes, ready for school. And the caption says first day of school, and they're already on the BS. The first day already? It didn't just start. They haven't even gotten their locker combination yet. They haven't learned where the cafeteria is. Teacher hasn't even finished attendance. And we're already introducing them to the gutter culture by having them flip middle fingers with attitude. Who is filming this? Who posted it? Where are the adults? Oh, the adults are filming it. And that is a problem. Parents, your children are watching what you celebrate. They're watching what you laugh at. They're watching what you post. They're watching what behavior gets applause. And that will come back and bite you as they get older, just in case you didn't know. So if you teach them that success means showing money, acting hard, being disrespectful, using profanity, and performing for social media, don't act confused 10 years later when that's the value system they develop. Because children aren't born knowing what's classy. Children aren't born understanding responsibility. Children aren't born understanding dignity. We teach them. And what bothered me about this video wasn't the children. They're children. My issues with the adults creating the environment, because instead of, baby, I'm proud of you, have a great first day, learn something, respect your teachers, we've somehow turned school pictures into show them the money, baby, show them the money. Why? And this is where somebody will inevitably say, because I already can feel it in the atmosphere, Crystal, you're judging struggling parents. Please stop it. Because these are the same parents that have the ghetto prom, and now we have the ghetto first day of school. This has nothing to do with being poor, even though these same parents will say the economy sucks and they need their government assistance. They'll be the same ones. There are broke families raising incredibly respectful children that are out there, and they're not behaving like this. And there are wealthy families raising demons with Wi-Fi. Remember that. Money is not the issue. Values are. Financial hardship doesn't require bad behavior. Being on government assistance doesn't require profanity. And having less money doesn't mean you abandon standards. In fact, some of the classiest people I've ever met didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, because dignity is free, people. Respect is free. Home training is free. Teaching your child not to make a fool of themselves on the internet is also free. And another thing, why are we teaching the children to flex money they did not earn? Baby, you are 8. You don't have a job. That is not your money. You didn't clock in. You don't have a 401k, and you know What do you don't even know what a deductible is? Put the money down and go learn multiplication. That's what you need to be doing. And for those Memphis high schoolers, you're supposed to be going to school to figure out how to make money, not standing outside pretending you've already conquered Wall Street. There's something backwards happening culturally where we teach kids to imitate the appearance of success instead of developing the disciplines that create success. We want the pictures, but we don't want the process. We want the flex. We don't want the work. We want the appearance of wealth. We don't want education, discipline, delayed gratification, and responsibilities. And parents, that begins with us. Children cannot raise themselves. TikTok cannot raise your children. Instagram cannot raise your children. Rap culture cannot raise your children. The streets definitely cannot raise your children. The government cannot parent your children. That's your job. So to the Back to School Gutter Bunny Parent Committee for somehow turning the first day of education into Cash Money Records Elementary School Edition. Gutter Bunny score 9 out of 10 carrots. Oh, we almost had our winner, but then somebody came flying off the top of the rope. Now we have Miss Dejanay Carrington. Dejanay, baby, come get your trophy, because apparently Dejanay Carrington saw everybody else's nomination and said, move, I got this, y'all. Let's review. Sophie Cunningham is playing basketball. Dejanay comes through. Boom, clothesline, flagrant foul, ejection. Everybody watches it happen. We have cameras, we have replay, we have slow motion, we have referees, we have eyeballs, and somehow, people, the conversation turns into white privilege. Girl, you hit her. Where's the white privilege? What are we talking about? You cannot physically hit somebody and then somehow transform it into Rosa Parks because people criticize you. This is exactly why people are exhausted with identity politics, because apparently you can watch something happen in 4K Ultra HD, and by the end of the conversation, the person who got hit is somehow responsible. Make it make sense. Imagine somebody walking into Walmart, slapping the cashier, security comes, and they yell, this is systemic oppression. Nope, we're not doing that. Sometimes, and everybody needs to hear me clearly, sometimes you aren't being attacked. Sometimes you aren't being persecuted. Sometimes people aren't coming after you because you're Black. Sometimes you just acted a whole entire fool. That's it. And Black people do not need this constant infantilization. I do not need somebody crying, well, Crystal, because you're Black, accountability works differently for you. It absolutely does not. Hold me accountable, hold Black women accountable, hold white women accountable, hold men accountable, hold everybody accountable. Because equality without accountability isn't equality, it's favoritism. And here's what makes this even crazier. We're talking about professional athletes. These women want the WNBA taken seriously. They want bigger salaries, more viewers, more endorsements, more investments, more respect. Wonderful. Then behave like professionals. You cannot demand professional respect while simultaneously turning basketball court into Friday night SmackDown. And every criticism cannot become racism. Every disagreement cannot become sexism. Every consequence cannot become oppression. At some point, somebody has to resurrect an ancient concept our grandparents used to call home training people. So Dejanay Carrington, for the clothesline for the controversy, you have just made the Gutter Bunny list of the week. So without further ado, drum roll please for the Gutter Bunny of the week. In last place, we have Umar Johnson. In third place, we have the EBT parents. In second place, we have Stephanie White. And in first place, I am happy to announce Dejanay Carrington, the Gutter Bunny of the week. 10 out of 10 carrots, unanimous decision. Somebody bring out the golden trash can, because Dejanay, you definitely deserve this. Thank you all, and thank y'all for voting. And I look forward to seeing you next week for Gutter Bunny of the Week.
Gutter Bunny of the Week. Yeah. We like we bring the heat. Hey, hey. Hope it jumping out their feet. Hey, hey. It's Gutter Bunny of the Week. Hey, hey. Gutter Bunny of the Week.
Welcome back.
Dejanay, go Dejanay, go Dejanay. Congratulations.
That was good. That
was very good.
That might have been your best Gutter Bunny of the week, man. That might be the best one.
Gutter
Off the
Bunny
top
of
ropes.
the week.
Oh man.
Don't
Okay.
try and have to come Rosa Parks. I laughed out loud. I was like, not Rosa. I brought her from the back of the bus, huh?
Wow. That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. That was good.
I can't wait till the years. I cannot wait till we get to the year in Gutter Bunny of the Week. I can't wait.
Yeah, the year in review.
Who's Gutter Bunny of the Year?
Yeah.
The year in review. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the ultimate bunny.
We may have to do like a top 10 of the gutter of that, because we have a lot of offenders. We even have repeat offenders, because when I reached out to Brother Wise, I said, listen, some of these people could come right back from last week to this week because they're still cutting up.
Facts.
Chat GPT gonna have to help you out.
Dr. Umar, I would so love to see him get it one day, but we'll see.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Yes.
Keep trying.
I thought he would have got higher, but then I thought about it. The EBT parents came in and they were like, "Nah, we ain't going to be in last place."
No, they didn't. Nah, we got this.
Exactly.
A mess. Shout out to everybody that voted yesterday and this morning. We do appreciate you guys participating. We had over 1,000 people vote for Gutter Bunny of the Week.
Wow.
So that was phenomenal.
Is that a record?
Oh no.
I think
last week, I'm looking at it now. Last week we had 5,000 people vote, because people do continue to vote. The week before that we had 4,000. The week before that 3,000. So yeah, we're
bad.
People are participating, man.
Yeah, they are.
People are participating. That's crazy. Dejanay Carrington, she got half the votes out of
She really did.
Yo, Gutter Bunny junkies.
I mean,
she earned it.
Gutter Bunny junkies.
You gonna clothesline and then turn around and say this is white privilege? I'm like, what?
You can't make this stuff up, man. Can't make it up. Shout out to Kung Fu CJ coming through with the $5 super chat.
USAID should open the eyes of many Democrats. They don't have money because the goose got cooked.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yep. Shout out to LJ with the 6 joules. Thank you. Shout out to LJ with the 250 joules. We appreciate you, sister. And shout out to Justin Bundy with 10 joules coming through. Thank you to Aviatrix. Okay, 200 joules. Appreciate you. And thank you to Elvirus. Is that how you pronounce it? Hopefully I pronounced that right. 440 joules. We appreciate you. Brother Daniel in the building with the $20 super chat.
AT, you know you want some that cash advance. 55555.
You're supposed to just read the super chat. You do a lot of extra stuff in there that he didn't put in the super chat. He didn't pay for that.
The Mannings bubble wrap Celeste, and then Celeste sends the energy that the Mannings want me to have. So
you said you want that cash advance. Goodness gracious. Brother Daniel, he messy. Shout out to him. $5 super chat.
AT, I couldn't resist. Welcome back. It's all love.
All love, sir.
I got to apologize. We know it's love.
Why did you put me next to her on this platform?
Shout out to Brother Daniel once again, coming through with the $5 super chat.
Like Brother Wise said, who raised you? Gutter Bunny laugh out loud.
LJ coming through with the $2 super chat.
Peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
That's exactly right. What did he say?
Oh, man.
A couple of names for himself. He's the prince.
The Prince of Pan-Africanism.
Right on.
Yeah, he's a few of it.
Did he say he's a gorilla or something? Oh.
He's got a few of them.
Gorilla breath.
That man got something beside us. You don't even know what to do with him. You like
right on. Black power, man.
Boy, I tell you. I want to play this last clip here. I want to play this last clip. I don't know if you guys heard this story here, but I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Ocean Springs situation in Nolan Wells. I'm sure you guys have heard this story. This is a very similar situation. Obviously, the characters are different, but a very similar situation. And you hadn't heard anything from Ben Crump. You hadn't heard anything, from Al Sharpton or any of these people, from this. But I want to play this clip from this lady here.
Question. So since y'all are around here spreading the gospel that white people are bad and that you guys don't want your children to be hanging around white people, are y'all going to give the same energy to these? Because why ain't nobody talking about Aiken Liverpool? He had the same similar situation as Nolan Wells. But hey, don't take my word for it. Dive into this clip.
I'm filled with emotions.
This is very hard. This is about one of the hardest things I think I've ever had to do.
A devastating discovery for the family of this man, 23-year-old Akin Liverpool.
Just made contact with the jet ski. They said about, I could see something floating in the water. I sent them back towards that way, and they said it looks like a body.
Miami police officers were dispatched to 1541 Brickell Avenue Sunday. Liverpool's family tells 7 News his body was found near Brickell Bay Drive.
We just got the news that my nephew was found.
Crystal King, Liverpool's aunt, spoke with us moments after that call.
We were actually hoping that they would find him alive, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Liverpool was reported missing by Miami police Saturday from Miami's Brickell neighborhood. According to the U.S. Coast Guard, Liverpool was last seen on a charter boat in Biscayne Bay going from Hobie Beach towards the Miami River.
He went on a party boat, supposedly with some friends.
But what led up to his disappearance is a question the family wants answered.
We were told that they did not know what happened, that they just noticed that he was missing from the boat.
Liverpool's aunt says her nephew just graduated with his master's from Barry University, and he was about to go for his doctorate.
The family is just really sad. We're down. This is someone who was a bright kid.
Now, well, what do we have here? A black man decides to go on a boating experience with some other niggas and he never made it home. Why isn't this case getting the Nolan Wells effect? Why is this not getting the Nolan Wells treatment? Is it because of your overseers, Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, not out here giving y'all the green light to be your racist selves? Or is it the fact that, again, black lives don't matter because there wasn't a white person involved? I mean, and considering all things, because we see that this guy is Greek, I wouldn't be surprised if they was doing some hazing rituals. Because that's what y'all little collegiate gangs be doing out here. Y'all be trying to beat up each other to be a part of y'all little cliques. Because according to some other reports, because the family finds this to be very suspicious, by the way. The family said that according to the people that was on the boat, that he fell off the bow of the boat. How is it that y'all know where he fell off but don't know when? And this charter boat ain't big at all. But y'all don't know when he actually dove off the boat? Something ain't right about this at all. Black Lives Matter, NAACP, where you at? D9, the little Greekdom that y'all have, where y'all at? Where's the justice for this guy? Where's the think pieces? Where's the GoFundMe for him? Y'all always proving me right with the selective outrage. Are y'all gonna stop having y'all black kids around other black people? Drop it in the comments. And justice to this man, Akin Liverpool. I hope y'all continue to keep his name on his brain because we definitely need answers on this one.
Minister Denz, I'm gonna give you the first word on this. You can go wherever you'd like to go with this one.
Well, I'm gonna be very brief, but you would think that I'm glad she did the video. And this is a very a common concern for us on our side. You would think that these race hustlers would at least pretend like they care about black people by going after black on black issues or what might be. You would think that they would at least give the because if you're gonna run a con, you don't want to run a con that's so obvious that everybody can figure out where you're coming from. I mean, these supposed to be some intelligent people, right? These people got degrees. They're intelligent. And yet, whenever it's a possible black on black, they ain't nowhere to be seen. Or they're very minor in their response. So this is another one of those good examples. I hope we keep sticking it to them on this. Put these people in their faces. Every time you see them, whenever you see them show up on a talk show, whenever you see them walking down the street or doing a rally, or I think Sharp is working on having a march coming up, some kind of march coming up soon, carry the faces of those brothers and sisters that they never said a word about. Carry those faces and put them in their face. I think that would do the best thing, to be the best way to shut these people up. Well, not shut them up, but at least embarrass them.
No, I agree with you, Minister Danzo, but there's no money to be made, in these types of situations. There's no dollars there. And what's really sad is that you have people that are a part of the community. I'm not a part of the community. Not that I'm not a part of that. But those folks that are a part of the community, they won't speak on this and won't say anything because they hadn't been told that they can.
Yeah, that's right.
And that right there goes to show you that these are people that you cannot take seriously.
Nope.
You can't take these people seriously.
Amen.
AT, I'll give you the next word.
I appreciate her making the video. First of all, absolutely. Anytime someone loses their life and there's questions to it, you need to make sure those questions are answered. Atkin Liverpool, unfortunately, is not the same as Nolan Wells. I'm not the least bit surprised that what do you call it, Wise? The Black Boule crowd. I'm not the least bit surprised they did not come out and support this. They're not going to support this because, to Wise's point, it is a net loss for them across the board. They have built their organizations off of white people are evil. We can do no wrong as the Black community, and even if we have troubles, it is somehow or another always white people's fault. And if you break that, then it destroys the entire foundation of those organizations. He's a 23-year-old man, so they're not going to view him as a child. Even though that's your baby, they're not going to view it that way. Nolan Wells, my understanding was he was relatively young. He's still a teenager.
He was 19.
Yep, couldn't even legally drink versus this gentleman who could. He wasn't on the tail end of Carmelo Anthony. Oh, I'm sorry. Some of y'all forgot who that individual was. He was a guy who was on the news until he wasn't on the news anymore, and now he moved on past him, right? And so the timing wasn't there for it. At the end of the day, we can find many stories of a young Black man who went out with other young Black men and did not make it back. You could build an entire industry off of stories like that. But people want to be upset. There's no accountability that's going to come from me looking at what can we do better as a community. Instead, it gets people's interest, it gets taps, it gets clicks, it gets videos, it goes viral. A lot of money is to be made by saying, hey, the white man's at it once again. They did us wrong. As long as we focus on that, they'll be able to survive. And all they care about is surviving. They don't care about doing the right thing.
I don't think it's about surviving, AT. It's about the money.
Yeah, money.
Simple as that. It's about the paper. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the guy from SPLC, mainstream media, is not really reporting this, but he's officially been charged now. They've officially been charged. I know they said this was going to a grand jury. It's officially, he's been charged. Mainstream media won't discuss this. No different than they won't discuss this particular situation either. Crystal, I'll give you the next thoughts.
Black lives do not matter if there are no white hands. Okay? You need white hands for Black lives to matter. Black lives do not matter if they're Black hands or if they're illegal immigrant hands. They don't matter. I just need y'all to understand that, because somehow the other people seem not to understand that, because it doesn't fit their democratic liberal mindset. So if someone loses their life to Black hands or illegal immigrant hands, you are not going to see Ben Crump. You're not going to see Al Sharpton. You ain't going to see none of these people show up to say anything. But let there be white people somehow in the vicinity, maybe 50 yards from you, around the corner. I don't know. They may have sent a breath in your direction, and somehow they can associate this white person with that Black life. Then listen, they're showing up in with their big old chariots, ready to stand on that podium and scream from the mountaintops about this Black life was taken by white hands, even though they have no proof. Zero proof. My heart goes out to that family, because that one seems a lot more, that right there seems a lot more problematic, like the girl who was reporting it, than what they're trying to conjure up with Nolan Wells, because they're literally saying they were on the boat, they were traveling back, and he fell off the boat. But they ain't stopped. They didn't call a Coast Guard. They didn't call nobody. They ain't say nothing, nobody. He fell off somewhere. We came back. We don't know. That's it. That seems more problematic. But like you said, they ain't gonna Ben Crump can't get no money from that. There's no money to there's no racial grievance. There's nothing that he can stand on to say, hey. But that also goes back to what I said. They always say, keep this within the culture. Keep that, we don't talk about our bad people, our bad behavior in public, because we can't be doing that. Even though the whole world sees our bad behavior, we can't talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about that. You're supposed to keep that under wraps. So whatever was going on over there, they're not going to discuss it. But they're going to keep saying Nolan Wells' name. They're going to say Nolan Wells' name even after everything comes out. and let's just say allegedly for entertainment purposes, in my opinion, everybody comes back and this boy just died from drowning, maybe alcohol poisoning, whatever. They will still say his name and say there was a cover up or something. They're gonna paint that picture for everybody. I'm telling y'all, at this point in time, if y'all don't get off of that race grift industry, this is how they make their money. This is how they make their living. Because if there was no race grifting, then Al Sharpton wouldn't exist. SPLC would not exist. Ben Crump wouldn't exist. So they
have to get a real job.
Exactly. They would they need to be able to make their money. So and as I said in the Gutter Bunny, you keep yelling racism, you're being the boy that cried wolf. At some point in time, people aren't going to listen to you. And the sad part is, y'all are buddied over there on the left with some of the most racist people I've ever met. The group of people that they have that soft bigotry of low expectation. They have to black-splain to you about your black experience. To me, that seems more racist than what y'all trying to say is over here. I don't get any of that over here. Over here, we're all just people. We're all Americans. We're Christians. We're all of that. They over there, that part, as much as they yell inclusion, they're the most divisive people I've ever met.
I would agree with that. It's no different than Shanquella Robinson's situation. I don't think they still have really found out what happened, but you didn't hear anything from the BLMs and all that other kind of stuff. And she left with her friends, and these were black folks.
What was
and I just don't understand for the life of me how people get on social media and say, "Hey man, you can't be around white people." And I'm like, do you not see what happens in the hood on a day-to-day basis? Like, do you not see this? Like,
what was the expression was? You're
Who's
always in danger if you're around white people by yourself.
Yeah. I'm like, man, have y'all not? Hey, they ain't been to East Atlanta.
No, they haven't. Otherwise, who was the girl who was left in the freezer? It wasn't Shanquella. Who was the girl? I forgot her name. The girl who was left in the freezer. And it was her and her black friends. They went to have a party here in the States at a hotel. And they left that.
Yes, I know. I don't remember. That was out in Tennessee. That was in the Memphis area.
Yes,
I remember that story. I don't remember her name though.
Nobody showed up for her. No one tried to figure out anything. They have nothing to say, and that's why I said, if it's Black lives taken by Black people or illegal immigrants, because they weren't shouting, say Larisha Thompson's name, the mother whose life was taken at the hands of Honduran illegal immigrants that took her life there in Carolina. And she was just going out grocery shopping for her kids. They didn't say nothing. You didn't say her name for this situation.
Right.
It doesn't matter because illegal immigrants took her life. So we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. Elder Travis, I'll give you the next word, and then Celeste, I'll give you the last word, and we're going to get ready to get up out of here.
I think everybody has talked about it, the media attention. Like just think about it. I was just watching the Tupac Shakur. They finally went to trial 30 years later. Yeah. Just think about this. This man died in 1996. They did all their hoopla. It got all the media attention. His albums are still dropping. All these things that happened. The media attention was there. But after 30 years, you notice the media attention died. Where are those same men? You are a lawyer, right? Where are you? The trial is going on now. Why it took 30 years for justice? Yeah. Just think about it. He did the Malcolm X documentary because remember when they was trying to find out who killed Malcolm X? He all in the documentary. Where is he? It doesn't generate no media. It don't generate no attention. Just like you talked about with the brother. What's the first thing they said? They say, he just graduated with a master's. You can't turn him into a gangster because they talk about his educational profile. They looked at him with his letters. His picture is with his letters. I can't say nothing about that. You can't talk about that. They can't bring that up because they can't demonize him. You can't demonize him against his people, so therefore it won't make no attention. But if it was like you said, if it had some white people around it, like Crystal said, then all of a sudden it's a big ordeal. Now they can emotionally, you know how Black people do, emotionally mess with us, emotionally cry out of outrage, the selective outrage. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Well, if he fell off the boat, why y'all ain't go after him? What happened? The scriptures tell us God is not the author of confusion. And anytime there's confusion, somebody lying. I always tell people that. If there's confusion there, somebody is lying. So if he fell off the boat and y'all just rode off and was hoping, How is he going to get back? What do we go? They can't find anything in there to make a story. So therefore, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't get no clicks. There's no clickbait on that. There is no outrageous thing that they can say. They can't pull out their whole political mantras or how they do. I didn't even hear Umar say nothing about it. Mr. Pan, he ain't say nothing about it. But you want to talk about LeBron going to Philly and it's a part of this. Man, hush. What about this kid? And eventually they'll get over the Nolan thing. They'll get over it. Once the media die down, they'll leave that alone too. And it's just sad because that's what it has come to when it comes to us getting attention, when it comes to the slander. They continue to perpetuate the back and forth. I'll tell you, I preached at an all-white church Sunday, and I was happy. They showed me so much love in a white town. I loved it. It was amazing. But guess what? Some places you can go to, I done been in all-black churches, and they looking at me like, what he about to say? Why he here? What he do? Like, why does it got to be that way? Like, why does it got to be that way? And because they can't create tension, I'm not going to talk about what's going on right here because they can't create a war, a protest that's going to drive up the clicks, that's going to drive up the views. And guess who comes standing there? He up there with that thick tongue talking. Just, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You ain't did nothing. All these cases still going on. We still don't. Well, we know who killed X. We still don't know. They did that whole documentary and they never tell you. They brought up people and the man they brought up said, I wasn't even there. So you just making up stuff as you go. The Keefe D situation. I don't see Ben Crump in none of them court proceedings. But when I don't see Al. I don't see none of them. Where you at? Where are you guys? I guess it doesn't matter. You know, it's not getting enough attention. What about Nixie? Where are they? They can't be found because they can't correlate a war. They tried to throw in the doctors. If it does not have controversy and that can create them some money and generate what they need, oh man, they don't care. Let them die. Let them die.
Celeste?
Well, the question of Black Lives Matter apparently is black. And the answer so far, what we can definitively say is that Black lives don't matter to Black people. Maybe they matter to somebody else, but they definitely don't matter to Black people. If that were so, we would not have, Chicago on holiday weekends. We would not have the unaliving centers all over the Black community. Right. We would not have the type of degradation and highlighting and praising of behaviors that we know don't lead to anything but death and destruction all throughout our culture, our movies, and in our families. So we are not a people that can come anywhere in the public and claim any integrity regarding Black lives, which is why when these things happen, we sit down and we shut up. Because as soon as we do that, everybody else go look and say, wait a second, you say you care about Black? Well, what about? And the list they have is long and deep. So we don't have nothing to say about this Aiken young man and the countless others that unfortunately will meet their demise, either in the company or at the direct hands of other Black people. There won't be much to say about that at all. However, the only time we have the courage and the actual ability to stand up and act in the defense of a life is when it does happen at the hands of someone that isn't Black. Right. Because that is something that is out of our control. And that is a place where we can actually pose with a level of dignity that we cannot have when it's a Black on Black situation. And since we've done absolutely nothing but sweep Black on Black situations under the rug and cover them up, the only time we are able to stand. So this is why I think the Jessies, God rest his soul, but the Al Sharptons run out, and the Umas and the Ben Crumps for sure, although you will never see him in court Ben Crump handles all of his business before they bang the gavel.
Man.
Is never going to court. His check got cut before then.
Yep.
But he is about, you know what Ben Crump is? Ben Crump is the Don King. I watched an interview with Don King, and somebody asked Don King when he was dealing with Mike Tyson, and they said there was a fight and Tyson made $20 million and you made $140 million. What makes it so that you make all of that money and Mike Tyson didn't? And Don King, who I think is as brilliant as they come, looked at the camera and he said, because I create excitement. That is what Ben Crump does. Ben Crump generates all of the interest and the excitement and the tension. And then he goes in and he leverages that interest and excitement and attention. And he says, hey, municipality, hey, Coast Guard, hey, Seafaring Waterway Authority, whatever your name may be, if you want out of this, you got to cut us a check.
Yeah, I can make this all go away.
I can make this all go away. And he can, because he started it.
Yep.
So he can. He is the man behind the curtain, except
Man,
he's out
that's
front.
crazy.
He is the Don King of Black disaster. That is what he is. That is what he is. And the reason Black people are so woe to raise their voice in their head is because we know that we don't have the moral authority and the moral integrity to police and control ourselves and our children. So when those things happen, we sing like they sang in the South years ago. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. We just look away. But when the white people come, we're very excited. Here's our chance. They give us our chance. And that's what we're doing. We're exercising our one and only opportunity to possibly say, look at us. We're people of integrity because look what you did. Because other than that, we have no other avenue where we can say that.
Goodness gracious. Let's read some super chats to get out of here. LJ with the $2 super chat says, peace and Pan-Africanism. I think I did that one already. Shout out to Amy Eddy, $2 super chat.
The election was rigged. EBT parents were robbed.
Exactly.
Shout out to IMD Andre coming through.
King Kong consciousness.
That's it. That's it.
That is it right there.
King
Yeah.
Kong consciousness.
Thank you, Debbie, for the 30 joules. We appreciate you. Brother Daniel in the building, $20 super chat.
My nose right here. That means I smell something before I hear it. Yeah, that's literally what he said. Yes, he said that.
Shout out to Justin Bunny, 10 joules. Thank you so much. Thank you, LJ, for the $2 super chat. Says, quick question. Why do we pronounce community communita now?
Somebody did that long ago.
That's just the new, I guess, bougie way to say the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
You know.
Did somebody just confess being bougie?
Minister Denzel, I'm proud of y'all today.
Thanks, Minister Denzel. Jeff, it's not your fault. Alan Recovery Channel, $11 super chat.
There's a strong white guilt component to this. White liberals, mostly women, will hand over money to feel clean from their contributing to the suppression of the Black lives they claim to care about. Yeah.
Not only the suppression, but many of them make their money supposedly administrating the pathologies of Black people.
Yeah. True. Thank you, Smitty, for the $10 super chat.
How did the race relations evolve in the world, but Al and Crump stayed behind? Did they help facilitate this better environment? A simple question equals a simple answer. No. So they're becoming irrelevant. We trying to make them irrelevant.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Fine.
Uncle Darnell with the $5 super chat.
Races themselves. Therefore, melanated lives only really matter when less melanated faces are involved. Here is your proof. Yep.
All right, now.
That's true.
Thank you, Jeff. It's not your fault. $11 super chat.
The original phrase was Black Olives Matter.
I love Black Olives.
Blatant Italian bigotry was exposed when people started spray painting over the O. You're right.
Thank you, Dion, for the $10 super chat.
We don't see Crump in the courtrooms because he litigates nothing. He can't read, though. I'm sorry. He drums up
There you go.
chaos to pressure folks to pay out settlements. I'm so glad that Nolan's friends are suing for defamation. Me too.
Yeah.
Me
Amen.
too, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Finn's Locker Room coming through with the $2 super chat.
That is her name. Her name is Kanika Jenkins.
Kanika Jenkins. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for pulling up, hanging out with us today.
Amen.
Shout out to all the ARP family members, everybody that supported the channel financially today, man. We really appreciate you guys supporting what we're doing over here. Man, thank you, AT. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Lil AC,
love you, man.
with his participation. Shout out to him as well. Thank you, Crystal and Celeste and Minister Danzel. Appreciate you, Elder Travis, coming up, pulling up, hanging out with us, man. Enjoy your day
Happy birthday,
today.
sir.
You a man, so I know you're only gonna celebrate today. You're not gonna celebrate the month like Crystal, just today. But shout out to everybody. It was somebody else's birthday too. Was it Jonathan's little one? And who else? Was there somebody else?
Who was it? Somebody said that this weekend is their 25th anniversary. So whoever it is,
We got some anniversaries.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Pastor Taylor.
Oh no, I got the birthday track. I got the birthday track. Minister Dan. So I got the birthday track. New birthday track.
Amen.
Happy birthday, guys, man.
Happy birthday to you.
Hopefully it'll play.
You made it through.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that one.
With good cheer. Happy birthday to you. For another lap around the sun, you are blessed. Praise the Lord. A new chapter has begun. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I like that, yeah.
May God bless you.
I didn't know that.
All the way R&B.
Is that Wise singing right now?
Let me pause it. Well, appreciate you guys, man. Hey, happy birthday, man. Enjoy the day. Miss Rosa, happy birthday to you as well. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your month. We appreciate you guys pulling up, hanging out with us. Lord willing, we will be back at this thing. Good Lord, I can't get it out. Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll thank you guys, man, so much for pulling up, hanging out. Everybody that supported the channel financially, thank you guys as well. Enjoy the weekend. Go outside, go touch some grass. I'm taking wifey out. We're going to go watch this new Spider-Man movie. So me and wifey going on a little midday date. You know, we do matinees over here. We try to be in the house before the sun go down. You heard me?
Right.
Before the sun go down, I like to be at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
But we do appreciate you guys, man. Hey, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.